So, another random live. I know. I didn't announce it and all this stuff. I know. Okay. Y'all come in here and let me know if y'all can hear and see me clearly. We are going to be dealing with the subletting of Black History Month. What that means, I guess, what the pattern that I'm noticing. We'll talk about that. Let me spread the word that we in here. Get that done. And then we gonna jump right into it. Let's see if I can spread the word real quick. Okay, here we go. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming. We gonna get it in. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear and see first, and then I'm telling y'all, we getting it straight. We're not wasting no time. Every time I try to do this fucks up every time. Just trying to share it. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I can't see y'all comments from this screen. Hold on. Let me let everybody know. Okay. Now, if you are here, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. I don't know why the comments don't come into this shit is they done changed some of this shit around. I can't see the comments from here, so let me try this. Hold on. Maybe I have to go through here. Audio good, okay. Mad love to everybody that's here. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Video froze, audio good. Like this is what I'm saying, yo. Why is it doing that? To where I can't see the comments. This is trash. Hold on. Because I don't understand why it ain't even working right. Let me see. Okay. No. It's not showing none of the comments. And then when I go over here to see the comments, it's freezing up. It freezes up from here. That don't make no sense. So I'm not going to be able to see the comments. I'm not going to be able to see them. I'm not going to be able to see the fucking comments. Okay. I guess I'll deal with it like that. I see. StreamYard is on that bullshit. Holding real niggas back, man. Like, nobody got time for this. It used to just, the shit would just come up right here, and now it's like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. All right. So y'all forgive me. Forgive me for not being able to reply to y'all's comments. Forgive me for that. I'm just going to get it in. Y'all can still make the comments. And I imagine on the playback, the comments will be there because I'm seeing them come up here, but it's not coming up here where I need to see them so I can engage with y'all via StreamYard. But We are going to be talking about the subletting of Black History Month. Okay, and now here they go right now. Okay. Now it's some of them showing up. Look, forgive me. I'm not going to be paying much attention to the chat anyway. We just going to be getting it in, and then I'll kind of give some attention to the chat later on. Y'all know how I do. First and foremost, shout out to you, Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, third. Okay, we're going to be talking about the subletting of Black History Month. At least what I'm noticing is looking like how we are allowing for the subletting of Black History Month, and this is something that Black people have historically done. Friendly as hell, aren't we? So, you know, if you don't know what subletting is, it's basically you rent a property, and in that rental property that you rent it out to other people. And in my mind, Black History Month is February that we've been granted access to rent out, to talk about Black history, to talk about Black issues, to talk about everything involving blackness with no shame. Okay? That's the gift of Black History Month for Black people. What I'm noticing, though, is that we are now subletting this out to other groups, and particularly the Hispanics. The would-be Hispanics, we're subletting out Black History Month to now deal with Hispanic issues. I disagree. I saw this started with the Bad Bunny performance. Now, how many of y'all actually watched the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime performance? How many people actually watched it? How many people actually enjoyed it? I didn't watch it. I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the full thing. I don't watch sports to even engage in any halftime shows at all, but I didn't watch it. But how many people actually watched it? Some of y'all say I ain't watched that shit. Fuck that shit, right? Y'all ain't watching that shit like that? Okay. Some of y'all on the same level I'm on with the Super Bowl as far as sports are concerned, right? But it started with this Bad Bunny performance, and there was a bit of a hoopla or, controversy around, how Bad Bunny performed it, the language in which he performed it, who hired him to perform it. Look, I don't give a fuck. The only thing I recognized in the would-be Hispanic culture being put on display, do y'all thing, display Hispanic culture, however y'all want to do it. But I'm not going to act like Hispanics are anti-black. But now, since all the ICE shit is going on, now that conversation has become the conversation. This has become the atrocity that's taking place in America. Fuck all the other atrocities. Now we're supposed to focus on ICE and what ICE is doing as far as the way in which they're doing the deportations. The thing I personally said about the halftime show is I don't really give much of a fuck about the Hispanic aspect of it. Hispanics are anti-black. People try to kick my back in for saying Hispanics were anti-black, and I thought I was under the assumption that everybody knew that Hispanics were anti-black. Now, of course, we're not talking about the black Hispanics. We're talking about the white Hispanics, because Hispanics technically is not a race. Hispanic, that's why I always say so-called, whatever. It's a cultural thing. It's not really a race. Okay? Because you got white Hispanics, you got black Hispanics. The black Hispanics experience racism in these would-be Latin countries from the white Hispanics. I didn't know that this was something that was up for debate, something that would be deemed controversial. I don't give a fuck nothing about what Bad Bunny's doing or what he did. Don't care nothing about the performance. But I'm not going to allow for Hispanics to now act like they all in with us as black people. Like they've been trying to use this narrative to convince us that they on our team. I disagree. And historically, that's just not been true in any type of way whatsoever, that Hispanics are now helping, black people. They are now not culturally anti-black. And when I say cultural anti-blackness, I simply mean that the culture itself, that doesn't mean every single individual is going to be anti-black, but the culture is training them to be anti-black. Okay? Even the black Hispanics don't want to be called black. I know black, whatever. Whatever. I know black. Like the Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. The Hispanics already have their own Hispanic Heritage Month, if I'm not mistaken. Or y'all correct me if I'm wrong about that. These people are anti-black, but we are now black people, the kind, open, overly to our own detriment. The people that we are, we're allowing these other groups to come in, and through us, we're going to tell their stories. We're going to support them regardless of their anti-blackness. I will say this time and time again. If a group is not denouncing their anti-black culture, then they cannot be in allyship with me as a black person. Now, what other black people do with their blackness, that's on them. For me, if you don't denounce your anti-blackness, whether you are a Hispanic, so-called Hispanic, if you don't denounce your anti-blackness, you an Asian, white, whatever, if you don't denounce the anti-black culture, then we don't have nothing to talk about. I wasn't fooled by the black and brown. I was never fooled by that. Because I know them bitches is white. The ones that's white are white. They act white. They are anti-black that way, right? So now what we feel like we have to do is open up space within February to now let's talk about Hispanic culture. Regardless of how many niggers they call black people, regardless of how many of them voted for Trump, who is now the one that's deporting their asses, not us. We're not the ones calling ICE or no shit like that. Now, somehow, all this is on us. It's our inactive, behaviors, us sitting back, that's causing the issue. Black people are the kindest group of people when it comes to inclusion of any other group on earth. I would debate that with anyone. The kindest group. We are open to every group of people because we want everybody to be open to us. We think this has been a trick we played on ourselves. We think if we open ourselves up, invite everybody to cookouts and all this old stupid shit, then that will open the door for us in their cultures, open the door for us in their mores and the ways that they move through life. That has not been the reality. This open behavior that we exhibit has not been given back to us in any type of way. It hasn't been a reciprocal relationship at all. We keep trying, but it hasn't been a reciprocal relationship. And thus, now, during February, we talking about everything else. This is supposed to be about Black American History Month. That's what this is about. That's what it's supposed to be about. Now, I'm every day, all year. But this month in particular is supposed to be about what Black Americans have done here. The strides we've made here in America. Black History Month is honored in America. It's not honored anywhere else. Like as if it's like some type of global Black history. That's not what this is. This is about Black Americans. It just is. Now we're trying to Black and brown Black history. And tell the lie that somehow Hispanics have had our backs. That has not been true. If you talk to any, I guess, Hispanic is going to tell the truth. Because a lot of them will lie. A lot of them will act like they don't know what the fuck we're talking about. The ones that tell the truth will speak to the anti-blackness within their culture. They'll speak to it. And I detest it because there's no reason, and I'll say this countless times, there's no reason that anybody hates Black people as a group. There's not one reason, one valid reason whatsoever been presented by any other group of people. Any non-Black group of people cannot present an argument that's strong enough to be anti-Black culturally. They can't. It's impossible for them to do. This is why they talk to you about laziness and crime. Those are the two things they're going to talk to you about. When they try to explain their anti-Blackness and what it's all about, they'll talk to you about laziness and crime. Okay, this is a reoccurring thing. But once Bad Bunny got up on stage and did his little, whatever the fuck he was doing, now Black people are dealing with, can't even have an opinion about it. It has to be praised. So now if you are saying, well, I didn't really enjoy that was some bullshit. I ain't really fuck with the halftime show. Now people are trying to treat you away because you didn't like the in Espanol as a halftime show. Now black people gotta love everything, or else it's something wrong with us. If we don't allow for the subletting, if we don't allow for the celebration of all these other cultures, we are the only group expected to do that. If we don't do that, then there's a flaw in us. See? Y'all see how black people are. This is why don't nobody fuck with them. Everything this is how this entire society does black people. They'll have some shit that may be going on, and then they'll start trying to say, oh, well, you see, this is why we don't fuck with them. They'll try to justify the anti-blackness. Well, see? And what I noticed was that black people they were attacking me for saying, well, I don't give a fuck what Bad Bunny is doing. If he's not denouncing the anti-black culture within the Hispanic culture, I don't give a fuck about nothing he's talking about in whatever language he may speak it. Don't care. That's my stance. That's where I'm at now. I don't care about anything anybody's talking about if they're not denouncing their anti-blackness. So I didn't give a fuck what Bad Bunny was doing. It didn't mean nothing to me because he didn't get up there and denounce anti-blackness. He doesn't do it in post. He doesn't do it in interviews. He doesn't do it. He's speaking about his people being attacked by ICE, which, okay, he's Hispanic. He's speaking about his people getting attacked by ICE. Cool. That's what he's supposed to do. Use the platform he's been given to do that. But expecting me to do it with you is my goddamn issue. I don't have to do that with you. And now, see? This is why we don't like black people. Again, no real reason, no justification at all. They'll just come up and say this type of shit to us. This is why we don't like y'all like that. Because y'all always being hateful and spiteful. And we're the most loving group of people on earth. I don't care what anybody says. When it comes to other races of people, we are the most inclusive people on earth. All a motherfucker has to do to get and gain our favor is cut a rug, dance a jig. That's it. And we will accept them fully and wholly. We're making arguments that now Hispanics have always been by black people. And even Hispanics are making this argument, but they voted for Trump. Trump, known to be anti-black, they didn't give a fuck about that. They didn't give a fuck about his anti-blackness at all. As a matter of fact, that was one of the reasons they voted for his ass. They thought it was going to be us getting all the goddamn smoke. That's why they voted for him. Yeah, it's true. They would not have voted for him if he would have shown that he wasn't anti-black. They would not have voted for him in mass. I would argue that the Republicans wouldn't even, none of them would be conservatives. They wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump unless he was anti-black. Unless what was it, Project 2025 or whatever the fuck that was, if that wouldn't have been the undercurrent or the energy of his campaign, they wouldn't have voted for him in mass. Even white folk wouldn't have voted for his ass in mass. Not Republicans. Not at all. Hispanics voted for him in large number, regardless of him being anti-black. Then they want to make it seem like, well, we didn't really do that. Yes, you did. We're not really anti-black. Yes, you are. And the reason that I can't fuck with you is because I'm telling you that you're anti-black. I can show you how you've been anti-black. There are some Hispanics within your own community that will speak to your anti-blackness. The fact that you will lie about it as opposed to dealing with it is why I can't fuck with you. That's my issue. It's not deep. I don't give a fuck nothing about what Hispanics got going on. Them bitches out here, whatever they doing out here, however they've been, engaging in their culture. Okay, you can denounce that though. Stop fucking lying about it. Stop pretending. Stop creating history that y'all have been carrying black people the whole time. I had people going all the way back to slavery talking about the Hispanics freed black people. When motherfuckers want to get into their virtue signaling, into their posturing, everybody freed us. White people do it all the time. Oh, they love doing it. Everybody freed us. White people freed us. Now, Hispanics saying they freed us. Even though, they can argue that, the South America, Mexico, they abolished slavery before America did. That don't mean shit. You was first to stop an atrocity. The part that people leave out is what happened after slavery was abolished. After it's almost like that gap of these, this next 60, 70 years, motherfuckers want us to forget about that. They want us to look at black people walking off plantations. This is the greatness and the goodness of the white man, his mama, and all these other white groups that claim that they freed us. But then the terrorism. Up until the Civil Rights Act, still the anti-blackness that permeates through American culture, through even Hispanic culture. They want you to completely ignore all of that. They know my side of me. I don't know what I didn't. The slaves. we freed the slaves. There was terrorism for over 100+ years after that nobody wants to even put their hands on. Nobody saw it. Nobody's responsible for it. It didn't even really exist. We're supposed to forget about all of that. We're not talking about 3 days of terror. That's how motherfuckers make it seem like this one thing happened this one time. No, motherfuckers watched terrorism happen to black folk, and they were just happy it wasn't them. Even though some of these motherfuckers got swept up in there, some of them can hide their fucking would-be Hispanicness because you can hide it if your skin is white. There ain't no white version of black skin. There is no such thing. But there is a white version of Hispanic. You're a Spanish-speaking cave. You can hide your Hispanicness, turn off your fucking accent, eat American food, whatever the fuck, dress in American way, take your fucking sombrero off, leave it at the house. You get to come in and be white. Because you are. You're white anyway. Hispanic is a culture. So you get to come in and be white. You can leave your sombrero at the house. Leave the tacos and all that shit. Leave it at the house. And you can come out here and be white. So I understand the argument that, I've even heard the argument, it was a protection measure. They were just trying to keep themselves safe. They didn't want white folk on their head. Okay. I can logically understand that you wanted to hide in, blend in with all the white. Okay. But while you was over there blending in, you was pointing at me, calling me a nigger. You told your kids, don't bring me to the house. You created this idea that I was your enemy. You not only stood over there with them to blend in with them, you took on their mentality. Bad Bunny didn't talk about that during that. So again, I don't give a fuck what Bad Bunny talking about. Don't give a fuck what none of these Hispanics talking about because I haven't forgotten. You can explain why you were anti-black, but you haven't explained yet why you haven't denounced it as a culture. We're talking about Hispanic culture being anti-black. You wanted to blend in, okay. You blended, but the mentality still is with you. Whole time. You didn't get rid of the mentality. And that's what I'm requiring that you get rid of and openly denounce. Not me assume that you've denounced it just because ICE is on your motherfucking ass. I'm not making any assumptions about who the fuck you are as a culture now. Because you still haven't explained why you even chose black people as your enemy. As opposed to the white man that was kicking your motherfucking ass. You haven't explained this to me. You haven't explained it to black people. Again, shout out to the few Hispanics that will be honest about their anti-black culture, that do denounce their anti-black culture. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not making assumptions about your character based on ICE kicking your motherfucking door down. I'm not coming to speak up for you because now you're dealing with some of the brutality that black people been dealing with the whole fucking time. Not going to happen. Not at least with me. What everybody else do, that's on them. But I'm not going to forget that shit. You've been anti-black the whole fucking time with no story. Just hating black folk. Don't bring no black man to this house. If you deal with a black woman, you're dating down. And you may be disowned by your family. Written out of wills. They serious about this shit. What's your reasoning for being like that? There is none. None. So now black people are supposed to forget all of that. And many of us have. People was cussing me the fuck out for saying, I don't give a fuck about Bad Bunny's performance. He's not denouncing anti-black, Hispanic the Hispanic anti-black culture. So I don't give a fuck nothing about them. Could care less. Black people came because we are so much. We'll carry. We'll attack another black person, in me, who stands up for black people at all times, in all ways, stand up for black people. They'll come attack me for Hispanics. That's how forgiving and inclusive we are. You'll even attack a black person for it. We that far gone. I didn't know. Like, I swear, like, black people shocked me with that. I didn't know that we were carrying Hispanics so hard that we was going to be going against other black people that didn't like the performance or didn't think much of the performance. Black people were going in on other black people. Mad that black people wasn't, and I think enough of us did. Enough black people did enjoy the halftime show that it shouldn't have been a big deal, but here I am like, no, them bitches anti-black. Had black folk come and tell me, no, I'm lying. I'm making it up. They're not anti-black. But they are. They're anti-black, very, very colorist. The caste system that they have, basically, the darker the person, the more scrutiny, ridicule. I mean, it's the same shit. And then how they feel about black Americans. That we are lazy, criminals, basically. Where you get that from? Who did you get that from? Now, we're going to ignore all this terrorism. Okay? Let the same people who engaged in all this anti-black terrorism, now they were going to listen to them about who the criminals were, but none of those crimes are on the books. The vandalism, murder outright, lynching outright, firebombing outright. None of those crimes are on the books. But they were able to tell the Hispanics that we are the criminals. And the Hispanic said, see. Basically like that. See. No. That doesn't make any sense. They are the criminals. Right? So now as we are sharing Black History Month with all these other different groups, immigrant groups, now being championed, what ICE is doing is now making us speak to what exactly is going on here with the Hispanic community that's going on here in America. It's like, let them carry their own, just like Bad Bunny did. I'm not holding him for carrying his culture at the Super Bowl halftime show. Any symbolism that he may be against what ICE is doing as far as the deportation of his people. Got no issue. Puerto Rico is an American, you're not American because you live in Puerto Rico. No, it's a part of America. Puerto Rico is a part of America. It is. And anti-blackness spread in every part of America. Every part of the world, really, if you ask me. But we're dealing with just America. It's spread in all of America. Puerto Rico is no different. The Puerto Ricans are no different. I don't give a fuck if you live with a couple of them up in New York and they was right next to you in the community and Puerto Rican Day Parade and all the shit y'all did. I don't care about none of that. The culture is anti-black. It just is what it is. And if you're not going to denounce that, I don't want to fucking hear from you. Let me get some of y'all's comments. Now the comments are showing up. Let me make sure that the comments are showing up. Because I swear, this is a fact. Tom Malone says some of our people are compromised because they have kids and are married into other cultures. LOL. You absolutely right. They will come, if they got them a would-be Hispanic mate, they will come kick your motherfucking back in real quick. And that mate that and them being with you as a black person, that automatically exonerates their entire culture. I see black people do it with white people all the time. I don't understand what sex and relationships have to do with culture. I don't know how we connect those two things. Automatically, and I even saw that your boy, who was it? Luke Campbell, Uncle Luke's coon ass, said that Hispanic women treat black men better than black women. And you had black men agreeing to this shit. What? How? On what front lines have Hispanic bitches been standing up for your black ass anywhere in history? Didn't happen. Didn't happen. And to me, when you talk about how a person is being, I guess, treated, I look at black people as a whole. Not your one dick that she may be sucking. Not, I don't give a fuck about that. Now you gonna come cape for the entire Hispanic bitch community? How? Now they treat black men better than black women. Black women been the ones on the front lines with black men the whole fucking time? How? That doesn't make any sense. Ain't no Hispanic bitch organization fighting against anti-black racism for you motherfuckers. They will fuck you and that's it. They back out of the game. I make that point all the time. You want to know who love you? Look at the organizations that's set up to fight for you. Very simple. Easy thing to do. Look at the organizations that other groups have set up to fight against racism for you. To fight against police brutality for you. I mean, just look at the Hispanic contribution to this situation. You can look at that. You can look at the whites. You want to carry white with you? Okay, well, look at the white organizations that are set up to fight against racism. And what you'll notice is there are none. In that alone, that should tell you everything you need to know about these people. Even the ones that's fucking you, they ain't got with the other ones that's fucking some more of you, and they haven't even done nothing with each other. That don't mean anything to anybody but me. Even the ones that's fucking you haven't gotten with the other ones that's fucking you and created any black fight back against racism organization. Does not exist anywhere. It just is what it is. So they'll fuck you, suck you, lay up with you, date you, go, they do all that. But you can't make the argument that now that means they love black people. They may fuck with you, at least until they get mad. Because some of y'all, some of these people don't learn when they get a little mad, they start throwing the word nigger around real cool, real free. Like it just starts slipping out all willy-nilly. So at the end of the day, what the fuck are we talking about? Why are you saying that? So now Hispanics love black people because they'll fuck a black woman, and one of the Hispanic hoes might fuck a black man or be in a relationship with a black man or woman. That's not enough for me. To me, it should be those people that are denouncing, since they're breaking the mold and going against their culture, they should be the ones speaking out against their culture. They don't even speak out against that shit like that. They'll just be up in pictures with you, and that'll be their, I know, I ain't racist. See, I'm in a picture with a nigga. See? I got mixed kids and shit. See? I proven myself, right? All these immigrant groups conduct themselves this way. They all anti-black, and they all refuse to denounce anti-blackness. Meanwhile, black people, over-loving, caring, we're subletting Black History Month out. Y'all can't even, it ain't but 28 days. You can't stand on black business for February. That's too much. You feel as though it's racist to stand on black business in February? I thought y'all had this in the bag. I at least thought black folk was doing it. Now, again, we all year, B123, all year long. That's what we doing. But I at least thought black folk would have this in the bag. That you can at least have February. But now you have to give your compassion and all, you gotta get it to other groups. Or you're proving what they say about you right. At least that's how we feel a lot of times. Which is bullshit. We're allowing for them to guilt us. And it don't matter. Watch, I'm going to show y'all some shit. Let me show y'all some shit. Real quick. It don't matter how many times they call you a nigger. Hold on, let me see. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me show y'all something real quick. This is how Hispanics feel about y'all. Well, I ain't gonna talk about that. I mean, I've been putting up examples showing black people, like, look at all these Hispanics basically, going in on your ass. Basically. Hold on. No, hold on. Because I want to talk about now, I want to segue into other immigrant groups. I'm trying to find that Godfrey video I put up. Okay, here you go. Y'all hold on, let me see if y'all can hear this first.
I'm saying that we appreciate it, but African Americans have always been hard.
Can y'all hear that?
African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know what opportunity. What about the appreciation of the hard work for the immigrants who came to the?
Can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear it, and I'll play it out because I want to talk about these black immigrant groups too. Because it's not just the Hispanics that's disrespectful, not just them. Let me know if y'all can hear that. See, that's why I hate the comments aren't. It's a lag in the comments. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this video, which you should be able to. It shouldn't be an issue.
This country, but here's the thing is the Civil Rights Bill is the reason why our parents got to come over here. 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist sons on the planet, had to sign that civil rights. But Martin Luther King's civil rights. Right. So that's the reason why Koreans can come here. Koreans, Indians, Arabs, Nigerians. Mm-hmm. It's because of the Civil Rights Bill. Right. It's because of African Americans, foundational black, coming in here, busting their ass, being treated like shit. Right. Being hung, lynched, Jim Crow, from slavery was Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction, being promised that they were going to get this, fighting every war. Black people fought every single war and still being disrespected, not being able to buy homes. Right. You understand? Burning up of black towns. And people go, well, why ain't they? They saw opportunity. There were black Wall Streets. There were black banks, black hospitals, and they came and burned it. Black excellence. They came and burned it because a white woman said somebody raped them, and they never did because a white woman lied. Mm-hmm. So this whole myth of African Americans not seeing opportunity, they did see opportunity, but
now, black immigrants. Let me come out of this real quick. Let me show y'all. Here's what they've been able to do. That's Godfrey. Now, Godfrey is one of the few, immigrants or third, second generation. I don't know what, he's one of the few ones that actually speaks truth to power about black history, black American history, because you heard him refer to black or foundational black American history. He delineated, even as he's speaking, he delineated right there in why he's talking to this other immigrant. Like, well, why don't they notice the hard work of other immigrant groups? Like, that's our responsibility. Black people are supposed to recognize the hard work of other immigrant groups when you came into a house that was already built. Like, what are you talking about? It was already built. So what are we supposed to recognize? What contributions are you talking about? What are you saying? This is where they will get into the bag of, and this is not just, again, this anti-black bullshit is all types of other groups that aren't American groups, that aren't American black, or even these so-called Hispanics, all this shit. They act like we just been sitting here. Ain't did shit, shiftless, haven't tried to build outside of. You talk about Black Wall Street, they'll say, well, that's the past. What about the terrorism? You get to bomb on Black Wall Street. What did they say to black people after they bombed on Black Street? Go that away. That's it. No restitution. No, rebuilding. No protection. Even after the black American slaves were freed from the plantation, there was no protection for our people all over this nation. None. And we kept moving forward. We kept pressing on until we get to the Civil Rights Act, in which this opened the door for immigration. The Civil Rights Act all on its own. Now, again, I do think there was a slight flaw with civil rights, because who the fuck is civil? You know, I'm like, well, who are you talking to? Who are you talking about? This is why this civil rights is all inclusive. Okay, all the minorities. This is why white bitches have benefited more so off of shit like some of the civil rights acts has been passed. The affirmative action, DEI, all this shit. They make it seem like it's black folk, but no, any group, any would-be minority group, which we got chunked involved or inside of this group under this umbrella of minority, and then all of it's just civil, right? Wasn't black rights. You see what I'm saying? There's been nothing black specific about civil rights, but we are in there. We fought for that, for other people to come here. Okay? Legally, immigrants, otherwise. We fought for that. And these motherfuckers will forget about that and talk shit about us. That's what other groups do. This African man right here, this brother, hold on, let me add it back. Let's see how I can see. Him, I don't even know what the fuck he talking about. He's talking crazy. He's talking crazy, but this is how people are allowed to talk about black people, black Americans in particular, and everybody cool with it. Godfrey having to tell this motherfucker about Black Wall Streets, the bombing of and on. The terrorism, which is what I was talking about earlier. Like, nobody even deals with that shit at all. It's supposed to be something that's skipped over. We supposed to be done, forgot about it, and moved on. Not only move on from slavery, because they act like when slavery ended, everything was over, everything was cool. We didn't get any protections under this law, under this government system. That's why I always say my system, my problem with this is America. 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up in corporate. It's America. They allow for Black Wall Streets to be burned down with no restitution. Go that way. Like, that's basically all they did. Like, well, just go over there. I mean, it's burned down now, so anybody go to jail for that shit. Nobody go to prison for that shit. Those aren't under the crime statistics of white folk. None of that. But everybody forgets about all this shit. This shit don't even matter. This is black folk being, ethnocentric even. Almost looked at as we like to live in the past. This happened. There was no healing, no nothing after that. Nothing. Just go that away. That's all. And everybody wants to leave that shit out and then talk shit about us when we're the whole reason that these motherfuckers allowed to come over here. Anyway. And now we're supposed to prove ourselves to Hispanics when them bitches should be proving themselves to us. Everybody should be proving themselves to us. We don't have nothing to prove to nobody. We done did all the work. We don't have shit to prove. I'm not proving my humanity. I'm not proving how loving I am by accepting. We don't have shit to prove to nobody, but we always feel like we do. We always feel like we do. Under this guise and banner of Christianity, we supposed to love and love and love and love and love. What, when you ain't got nothing left, what you supposed to do? How much love? How many cheeks you got to turn? We always trying to prove ourselves when everybody should be proving themselves to us. We ain't did shit. Go through all this bullshit and have motherfuckers come over here and disrespect us. Now we supposed to prove ourselves to Hispanics. Let's show how much we love Hispanics. No, fuck that. That's the position we always put ourselves in. This, to me, it's a form of low self-esteem. To where no matter how much work we've done, no matter what type of work we've done, everybody want to say we ain't did shit, and we're always trying to prove, yes, we did do it. Right? We always proving ourselves to other people because they called us criminals and lazy. We always trying to prove that that's not what we are. Always, constantly, nonstop, trying to live above the stereotypes that's been created for us in this society. Always. We haven't gotten over it yet. Always. And we don't have to prove ourselves to anyone. Everybody should be lined up to prove themselves to us. It's our energy everybody siphons off of. It's our life force. Everybody wants to be a part of their shit. This is why they want to stand up against ICE right now. Why am I standing up over there against ICE? Them bitches haven't proved themselves to us. I don't give a fuck about Bad Bunny and what he got to say, his performance. I don't give a fuck about none of that at all. They need to prove themselves to us. These other immigrant groups that come disrespect, they need to prove themselves to us, not the other way around. I ain't proving shit to nobody. I don't feel that's my responsibility to try to show you how good I am versus all black people. I'm supposed to try to separate myself. No, we're not doing that over here. Because whatever they think about you, they're going to think anyway. They tell you not to deal with nobody with black skin. They don't talk about what group of black and all this. They don't do all that. We do all that. Try to be well spoken. Turn your hat around. Pull your pants up. We do all that shit. These mental gymnastics that we put ourselves through trying to prove ourselves, and nobody gives a fuck. If you look at the terrorism, as Godfrey was talking about with the Black Wall Street, if you know anything about Black Wall Street, those are well-dressed, well-spoken black folk. Minding their own goddamn business. Our ancestors, not bothering a soul. Not bothering anybody. Cave bitch gonna fuck around and say somebody did something to her and lynch mobs come burn our city down. We've even been bombed from the sky. That's government sanctioned. No restitution. No, are y'all good? Because even the one that they may have been accusing of rape, like, did you even get the one that you was after? Because ain't nobody else. I mean, we even talk about, they were able to use that as an excuse to burn down whole towns. And we proving ourselves to who? Why? Why must we do this? I got white folks now that want me to fucking be grateful that they freed me from slavery, freed my ancestors from slavery. Get the fuck out of here. You engage in one of, I would argue, the worst human, atrocity on earth. You engage in the behavior, but now I'm supposed to thank you when you stop. This that bullshit they be on. They be trying to fuck with our heads. I'm not thanking you, bitch. I have contempt for you for doing it. So what the fuck I look like thanking you for stopping? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But this is the logic of this society. This is why now these Hispanics can come in and say, well, we freed it. Hey, Holmes. Hey, Holmes. We freed the slaves. Like, no, bitch. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. Y'all enslaved. No restitution. No nothing. And then everybody talk shit about black people. Everybody hate black people. All cultures hate. Fuck all that. No. I'm over that shit. I'm over that shit. This is a fact. This is a fact. Lil Bit of Nail says exactly, and everyone looks at us like we're supposed to carry everyone on our backs. We're strong for us, not them. Exactly. I wish this was our mentality. Honestly, Nail, I wish this was our mentality, but it's not. This is looked at as radical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers look at this. This is a radical position to have. That, bitch, get off my back. No. I'm not gonna carry you on my motherfucking back. At all. I'm not doing that. And it doesn't make me racist either. Because we're always trying to fight against claims that we're racist towards other group. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Call me whatever you want. Get the fuck off my back. Bitch, you done nothing to deserve to be riding me. You've done nothing to deserve that. Nothing. None of these motherfuckers have. They're not even something as simple as denouncing their anti-black cultures. They won't even do that. That's a very simple, this is a verbal, this ain't even got nothing to do with actual, this is a matter of verbally shaming people in your culture. First, admit that your culture is anti-black, but then shaming that anti-black culture. They won't even do that. That's too much. They'd rather just deny that they're even anti-black at all. Look, my Hispanic bitch is fucking a nigga. See? That's their proof. So carry us. Like, no, bitch, I'm not carrying shit. But most of us will because of our compassion. Okay? They have made you into basically the demon of the world. But look at your compassion. Look at your compassion. That to me looks like low self-esteem. I'm not going to lie. It looks like very much low self-esteem. Like, seriously. You don't require people to prove nothing to you. You don't require it at all. You don't require any type of checks and, well, bitch, how I know who the fuck you are? We don't require nothing. And then you got people like Godfrey trying to tell these African motherfuckers that will seek to disrespect black Americans, like, well, no, hold on. Look at what all the fuck they've done to fight for the fact that you were able to even come over here. He said even his parents able to come over here. Don't nobody even want to give that shit no credit at all. At all. God Power says American black FBA culture is also anti-black, if we're being honest. I always make the argument that the FBAs, the coons that are, I guess, domestic coons, are the most egregious form of coons to me on earth. I'll make that argument. A lot of them are anti-black. I won't argue with you against, again, a lot of them are anti-black. I won't argue that FBAs, a lot of them are anti-black. We won't get no argument from me with that. They are the most egregious coons. And particularly considering the path and walk of the black man and woman here in America. A lot of them are anti-black. A lot of them are. But you can't sit here and, I make the argument that 99.9% of black people, period, are coons. Anyway, so that's my argument. And within being a coon, being anti-black is a part of that coon shit. It's what leads black people to being having this individualistic mindset that we seem to have. We don't want to work as a team together to get respect. Hell, even stand on any type of business whatsoever. We don't want to do all of that. We don't want to do it. But as you say that FBA culture is also anti-black, fair. But the anti-black FBA is the issue that we're dealing with right now when we're talking about immigrants being anti-black American. That's a different type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different type of anti-blackness. Like, you gonna come over here and disrespect black people who paved the way for you to be here. Well, bitch, you gonna have to give some fucking respect here. And that needs to be acknowledged. I think when FBAs are doing their business or staying on their business, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Delineation, that's not a wrong thing necessarily. Again, sometimes it gets to be a little bit extreme, but it's not wrong on the base of it. Like, on the face of it, it's not wrong at all. Because imagine me saying, imagine me taking credit as a would-be FBA. Imagine me taking credit for the Haitian Revolution. A Haitian gonna look at like, nigga, what? You can honor it. You can uplift the revolution that happened. We can talk about it. We can talk about black people being strong, but you don't get to say that you actually are from that ilk. They'll make sure that you're not going to say you from that ilk. They're going to correct you. You can try, but they'll correct you. That's what everybody do. You don't get to claim that the Haitian Revolution, you don't get to claim that. You're not Haitian. You see what I'm saying? Which ain't nothing but black folks in Haiti. I mean, it's not like it's white Haitians, hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you don't get to claim that history. You don't get to claim that that part of their story. So then when we sit back, like, well, we got some history too. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's where people will act like, well, it's a big problem for you to talk about your history, right? Which it shouldn't be, especially when the motherfuckers be over here in America disrespecting this history. Well, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue at all. Are a lot of these FBAs anti-black? Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that doesn't have anything to do with, I'm going to tell you about the history. Godfrey just did it. Here's this, and this. Black Wall Street, continuing to be resilient, even not getting the promises, dealing with the police brutality, watching other groups being given land, other white immigrants being given land and everything, money, government subsidies and everything. And we still fighting, still moving forward. That can't be undervalued. That can't be overlooked in any type of way whatsoever. Just so well as it would make no sense for me to downplay or disrespect the Haitian Revolution. Then you got to talk about, well, what Black Americans have done over here in America to get to where we are now. And everybody's still anti-Black. It's under a nice button, It's neater now, but it's still the same shit. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck about us at all. And we're not allowed to be selfish at all. This is why we're now subletting Black History Month. We feel like it's up to us to show our goodness and grace by subletting the only month that y'all can be black and proud. Y'all don't let them box y'all in like that. They gave y'all February. Now y'all giving February away to everybody else. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm not carrying no other group. I don't give a fuck February or not. But I don't think, in particular, in February, why the fuck are you talking about Hispanic anything? Why are you talking about immigrant anything? Who gives a fuck? We're still dealing with shit on our own, still dealing with the anti-blackness that we're living under at all times. We're doing anti-blackness right now. Let me show you something. Let me show y'all somebody else real quick. And y'all can tell me in the comments whether
Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist sons on the planet, had to sign it.
Hold on. Y'all tell me in the comments before I play this. Is Stephen A. Smith FBA? Y'all pontificate on Stephen A. Smith's FBA-ness. And let me show y'all something. Let me find it first. Is Stephen A. Smith FBA? Somebody answer it in the comments for me before we even get into this. Hold on. Something ain't. I know I posted it. Hold on. Y'all let me know. Okay. Stephen A. Smith FBA. All right. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on. Let me pull it. I'm going to share the screen. Let me show y'all something real quick. This is what I'm talking about. Let me do this. No, well, no, I ain't want to do that. I'll do that. That's cool. Watch this. Let's deal with your boy. Here is the bullshit I be talking about. Now, as you can see, here is Stephen A. Smith. Hold on, let me see if I can make this. No, okay. Okay. I'm going to read this out. Okay. I'm going to read this out to y'all. We're going to go through this. This is how some of even the FBAs will undermine the argument about racism. No, Stephen A. Smith isn't FBA. Okay, well, if he's not FBA, that's fine too. That doesn't change the point I'm about to make. Okay, y'all say Stephen A. Smith from the islands. Okay, it's not going to hear me out. Okay, let me show y'all something real quick. Now it says Stephen A. Smith says racism exists in the U.S., but not as widespread as some on the left claim, adding that most Americans judge people by their character rather than the color of their skin. And this is a direct quote from him. It says, I know racism exists, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. Now, here is a non-FBA, according to y'all, non-FBA, telling a bold-faced lie. Or, in his mind, he's telling the truth that racism isn't as prevalent. Maybe he believes that. He could possibly believe that based on the bubble he was raised in or whatever, mindset he was raised under. A lot of these black people who get money a little early on in their lives, a lot of them will also say, well, racism is not as big and not as heavy as some people like to talk about or mention that it is. So here's your non-FBA Stephen A. Smith talking about the fact that racism isn't a big deal like people on the left. I imagine he's talking about the Democrats. So now we're going to politicize racism. And this is something that you notice if you deal with politics or if you follow politics at all. What you'll notice is the left, the Democrats are supposedly the ones who lean into racism or talking about racism. And then the Republicans on the other side, they will tell you full-blown racism doesn't exist. They'll say full-blown, it's not even a thing at all. Okay? That's Republicans. That's their stance. That's black, white, the Hispanic Republicans. All them motherfuckers say the same exact thing. Racism does not exist. Okay? That's their stance on racism and anti-blackness. It's a thing of the past. It's over now. It's gone. Stephen A. Smith now, him doing his political commentary that he's been doing more and more. Although I even saw this bitch might say he might run for president in 2028. He might run for president. Y'all can vote for this motherfucker if y'all believe in him or whatever. I think he said he may be running for on the Democratic ticket, but he's saying that the racism is not what you see. And a lot of people come from other countries. And Stephen A. Smith is a non-FBA. A lot of people will come from other countries to America, and they will look around and be like, well, I don't know what the fuck these niggas been talking about the whole time. Everything seems okay to me. Right? And we know that that is complete and utter bullshit. Everything seems okay to you because you don't understand the nuance. Because the piece of racism you got was, black people having, rocks thrown at them trying to integrate a school. Black people being called niggers and having dogs sicked on them, having the police full-blown beat their ass right there in the streets as they're protesting, or a sit-in where white people are calling them niggers and spitting on them. That's the only version of racism that you believe that makes racism even a thing. The nuances of racism, the redlining, the invisible hand of racism, that's going to be something that you have to learn about, recognize, notice. You don't get that in school. They teach you very plainly about parts of, slavery, parts of the history. They don't teach you about the nuances. They don't teach you about how some of this racism morphed and changed into other forms. The privatized prison complex, for example. Right? So that is more in the mindset of an FBA is going to factor all these things in. Now, not saying all of them do, because I run into coons all the time, straight from North Carolina with me. Okay? Straight from the land with me, that will argue they don't see racism, because to them, if a white person isn't calling them a nigger to their face, racism is gone. And I would argue that's kind of what white people bank on. You not being called a nigger to your face, and good Lord, the way they use Obama, like, bitch, what? I mean, this is a black man, right? How can it be racist if he was voted into, you know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to these foreign people that come over here, they'll just look at black people like, oh, y'all just lazy. Ain't nobody racist towards y'all. Y'all just lazy. Y'all don't want to do no work, right? They don't look at racism in a nuanced way at all. If you're not being called a full-blown nigger to your face, racism does not exist. If that's not your lived daily experience, I'm talking about up at the job, if you're not being called a nigger to your face, racism don't exist. If you're not being called a nigger to your face when you go up to the fucking Walmart, in the grocery stores, driving in the world, everywhere you go, if you're not being called a nigger to your face, racism is gone. That's the game that this society plays. A lot of these people come over here. Y'all say Stephen A. Smith not from here, not FBA, okay? And if he doesn't see black people being called niggers to their face every day, if he's not being called a nigger to his face every day, Oh, it ain't that bad. No big deal. Now, the residual effects from racism, which this is what I'm talking about when we dealing with Black History Month, this is where the conversation needs to be. The nuances of racism, what's happened here in this country, how it has outsourced this racism. This is how Hispanics picked it up when they come over here. Because they already be anti-Black in Latin countries. They already be anti-Black. But they'll come in and carry that same mindset over here because it fits. Right? Being anti-Black is American. Like, literally. Being anti-Black is American. It's American culture. If we're talking about American culture, being anti-Black is a part of that culture, so they're able to blend in. But they'll come over here and basically they'll look around and say, well, ain't nobody calling y'all niggers all day. Nobody's beating y'all's ass all, and you're not being lynched all willy-nilly. So all the racism is gone. It's gone, y'all. Y'all should be good. Obama, right? That's what we do. And that's what they do, and we allow for them to do this. It'll start making sense to us. And this is what my problem is, now some people saying Stephen A is an FBA. Look, I don't know to me a coon is a coon. Okay? I'm telling you, I talk to niggas from North Carolina whole time that talk like Stephen A Smith. So it's just not like, y'all do that differentiation, FBA, all this old shit. That's y'all that do all this shit. I think cooning is cooning across the board. Cooning is a worldwide epidemic. You can get a coon from every Black culture population in the world. Every one of them. Okay? You will find a lot of them is white worshiping, cave pedestalizing coons. They allow white folk to tell them who they are, what they are, and they spend their lives trying to prove themselves to white folk. Coons. Okay? Across the board. It's whether he's FBA or not, that's okay. That doesn't really matter to me personally. That's something that a lot of people, but sometimes these non-FBAs get out of pocket and need to be put back in. Like, bitch, what the fuck you talking about? Okay. And people, apparently on his Wikipedia, it said, I'll just put modern FBA. It says right on his Wikipedia, his parents are from St. Thomas. So, that would make him first, second generation, some shit like that. That doesn't matter to me. That's not, I'm B123. That's what I claim. That's what I am. And over here, my ideology says all you niggas is coons. Like, that's just really where I'm at. Like, I don't have a whole lot of delineation with cooning. Like, if all you niggas is coons. That's how I feel. Not only is it a feeling based on my observation, all you niggas is coons. I saw you niggas cooning for Bad Bunny just 2 weeks ago. Like, let's stop. Okay? We have to stop lying about whether or not you can tell if somebody FBA or not based on them cooning. That is not any type of, you cannot delineate from the coon aspect of it all. Coons come from all over the world. Stop this. That's me. This is why, and I told y'all my issue FBA is because the conversation gets stuck right there. It gets stuck. Because now, nobody's a coon but niggas from St. Thomas. Nobody's a coon but niggas from Jamaica. Nobody's a coon but niggas from West Africa. And that's where I can't do it. I can't do that with nobody. I've been here my whole life. I'm FBA by lineage. And when I tell you these niggas is coons right here, domestic, they're coons. It is what it is. If you don't believe me, send a white bitch over to fetch you one of them real quick. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Send you a kind white bitch over to one of them. Send you a kind Hispanic bitch over to one of them. Okay? You want to test these niggas? Send a white bitch over there. That'll show you everything you need to know. That'll show you everything you need to know. And then what they'll say, well, they not all bad. FBA niggas say that. All these white folk, I got white friends. FBA niggas say that. I don't know nothing about racism. I judge people. Well, shit, we all bleed red. I'm from the South. I'm from a place where FBA niggas will fly Confederate flag and say it's heritage, not hate. So y'all not gonna talk to me about FBA being the. I don't listen to none of that shit. This is where me and FBA we I go right, they go left, or vice versa. This is where we don't connect, because I'm not listening to this shit at all. I'm from here. I'm from the South, where most black people are. I'm not listening to it. These niggas will tell you heritage, not hate, and fly Confederate flag on their own. Yeah. This is what there's going on. This is what's going on. And to me, the FBA coons are the most egregious coons in the world, because how can you go through all what you went through in America and come out of it a coon? So it's even worse. The West African coon is still a coon. I'm still going to call him an Afro-coon. I'm still going to go in on his motherfucking ass. But it's more egregious that the FBAs, the ones that are coons, it's more egregious for you. Look at what all you've been through. Look what all your people been through. And you going to come out on the other end of it, Jesse Lee Peterson? You going to come out Jesse Lee. How you do that? Bitch, how you come out of this Jesse Lee Peterson after all you... Because what happened with FBAs is assimilation. That's what happened. That's what nobody want to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the assimilation process, right? People who come from basically places where there's mostly black people, them assimilating to whiteness wasn't necessarily that wasn't their path. Our path has been assimilation to whiteness, to be accepted by white people in America, being the majority of the people is white. That assimilation process, integration, it fucked us. Okay? It fucked us. We don't feel we good unless they say we good. That's what assimilation did to us. We're not even good people unless they say we are. This is why our self-esteem is so low, because they very rarely say we are, right? They don't even say that we good people. So we don't feel like we good people. And if we do feel like we good people, we'll say we're a good person. We don't speak for black people. We speak as individuals. That's what assimilation did. Well, look at me, I'm good. Now, I don't know about them niggas. They ghetto, ratchet, right? They ghetto and ratchet, not me. That's what assimilation did to FBA. That's the mindset you're going to be dealing with niggas FBA right here, right now. Because that's what it did to us. Integration and assimilation, this is what it did to us. Well, not me. That's them niggas. I don't speak about, I'm one of the would-be FBAs, or really, again, just by lineage I am. I say, no, bitch, you don't get to judge us at all, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck your judgment. Fuck what you're talking about. I know your history. So I'm not going to prove myself to you at all. I feel like I have to, well, I'm better than them, the ghetto niggas. I don't do that. Oh, it's them thugs over there, them criminals over there in the hood. I don't do that. But FBA niggas do it. Y'all black folk out here embarrassing us. Meanwhile, the caves can have a whole video of a full-blown racist cave calling a baby a nigger, full-blown. The white population does not say, well, y'all racists out here embarrassing us. They don't say anything like it. Nothing like that. They do not look at that instance where a white bitch will call a baby a nigger and say, well, we. They don't do that. They'll say, well, that's that bitch. And I ain't racist. I got black friends. So I know I ain't racist. They don't do that. What we do and what assimilation integration does was make us feel like we got to pull ourselves outside. I'll be a quarter zip nigga versus a Nike Tech nigga. I'm better than the Nike Tech niggas. Them the hood niggas. I'm a quarter zipping ass nigga, you know. Look at me. I'm going to use complete sentences and all this old shit like that. I'm not about to do all of that. That's what assimilation did to FBA here. That's the mindset that I'm constantly battling against FBAs, not even, that's before we get to the Stephen A. Smiths and before we get to the, Africans, before we get to the, foreign coons, before we even get to them, I'm dealing with FBA niggas that I'll spend all their time trying to prove that they different than black to make white people favor them better. That's what I'm dealing with all the time. And because I know that, I'm not letting FBAs off the hook. I can't do it. I can't say that all these coons is coming from they being they immigrating over to. No. I live in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky. All of this, you'll find coons all up and through that bitch. All from here, all FBA. It is what it is. They spend all their time trying to back away. Since white folks said black folk criminals, now I got to prove to you and I'm not a criminal. White folks said that black people don't have education. Now I got to overly speak properly. I got to do all this work to prove that I'm not like them, the ones y'all was talking about. I'm a good one. This is why I put that. That's why I made that T-shirt that said, "Dear white people, I'm not one of the good ones, bitch. Fuck you and fuck your judgment." That's how I treat white people. You don't even have the place to judge me, bitch. Look at your history. Look at what you do. Look at who you are. And we can't even talk about your sex crimes against these children. We can't even get into that. Like, bitch, you don't get to judge me. My etiquette, my dialect, my education. You don't get to fucking talk to me at all. That's the disdain and contempt I got for white folk. All FBAs don't have the disdain and contempt. It's some good ones. I got one fucking me right now. I got mixed kids, so, I got me a good white one. Carrying white folk like this. Trying to prove yourself to white folk like this. That's what we do. This is why the subletting, how easy for us it is we're always trying to prove ourselves to other people at all times. This is why we can sublet Black History Month. Don't feel no type of way about it. Don't feel no, like, why the fuck are we doing this for everybody? Why are we doing this? Why are we always trying to be liked? That's what assimilation did to us. We're always trying to get into there. We wouldn't have trying to integrate their businesses. When they said, "Get your nigger ass the fuck out of here," we said, "No, not so much. I want to be able to eat in here with you. I want your racist ass cooked to make me some food, and I'm going to eat it." I can't say I would have wanted, I don't want no racist, I don't want, might be spitting and all type of shit. But that's what we fought for. We fought to be looked at as equal to, even though we're still not, but we fought for that. We fought for that. Because they wouldn't leave us the fuck alone. So I look at it from both sides. They wouldn't leave us the fuck alone. So you're going to bomb all our cities, bomb our areas, and don't want me in yours either. Bitch, what the fuck we supposed to do? Now, to me, we should have stood against this government and talked about the fact that we weren't protected at all via the government. The armies or your military, your police force, your so-called justice system. We weren't protected at all. And then we came and forced ourselves in there. And then the cops beat our ass for that. It's like, man, if you look at this shit and the fact that we sit here and let these motherfuckers tell us who we are, what we are, pray to their God, take on their fucking religion, and they get to tell us whether we good people or not. I have the utmost contempt for that. And that's what that's the situation the FBA's in. Well, we can talk about Black history. I can run off a whole bunch of inventors, but we don't got no pride in our shit. That's my issue. We still look at white folk like they are able to judge our morality, judge us from their position. That's why I always talk about depedestalizing caves. I think that's the most important thing for Black people to do, period, is depedestalize the caves. Stop looking to these bitches to tell you who you are. That, to me, is the number one issue of Black people in America. We got to take these caves off pedestals, and call them a cracker ain't it. That ain't enough. Hell, me calling them a cave ain't enough. I have a mentality behind my contempt that I don't give a fuck if they call me an angry Black man. Bitch, you're not going to tell me who I am. I'll carry you want to call me an angry nigga? I don't give a fuck. Because it makes me furious to see you sit over there and point at me and try to tell me what's wrong with black folk. And yes, I could say, well, I'm an individual. I'm not lazy. I got a job. Right? I don't have no felonies. I could do all that. I'm not doing none of that shit. Whatever the fuck you say, I don't care. Who are you? For me to defend myself to you, bitch. And I'll make sure you gotta add the bitch. If you don't add the bitch, then it ain't in your mind properly. It got to be in your soul. That contempt will make you add that bitch at the end. And if you're not doing that, you ain't doing shit. Because that has to be a mentality. Not only mentality for you, your children. They're looking at you. Okay? So again, this to me is a part of my version of would be pro-blackness. This is why I'm B123. Black first, second, and third. 3 layers. 3. That's how I come into this shit. Nobody gets to talk to me about you. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. These Hispanic motherfuckers that try to be racist and, say shit to us and all this shit and then lie about. Bitch, I know you're racist. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. You're not going to make me feel bad because I know that you're racist. Because that's the Jedi mind trick that these motherfuckers try to use. They'll try to make you feel bad or like you the racist because you know that they're racist. You know they anti-black, so they make it seem like you something is morally wrong with you. Something is flawed in your character because you know them bitches is racist. That shit don't work on me. I have contempt, disdain. I have vitriol. I have anger towards that bullshit. Bitch, fuck you. That's my, literally. That's how I feel. When you say this, when I'm talking like this to black people, the first thing they will tell me many times, most times, is that all white people ain't bad. That's their defense. All white people aren't bad. What are you talking about? Not listening to anything I'm saying. They just want to make sure that when I'm done saying it, they're going to say that. FBA. From here. I mean, I said all that to say that's the energy I get from the FBA blacks here is all white people aren't bad. They're going to make sure that they say that to you. Now, when they're talking shit about you, when they're calling you criminals and thugs and lazy, white folk not going to go out their way to say all of them not like that. Which the honest thing would be that, well, most of them actually aren't like that. Actually, most of them aren't criminals at all. That's just been some propaganda against. White folk ain't doing that at large. They're not. They're not. They're calling you criminal and lazy. The Hispanics aren't doing that. The white Hispanics. Let me be very specific because a lot of people was getting this confused. Like, I'm talking about the white Hispanics. Okay? The white Hispanics. Not only white in their skin complexion, but also very, very much cave right here. Okay? Very much cave right here. Right? Them bitches will try to judge you too. That you lazy. Ain't no such thing as racism. Meanwhile, they're literally calling you a nigger as they're talking to you. But racism is gone according to them. Y'all just lazy. Y'all not taking advantage of all this non-racist, open, free market, free capitalist, society. Doesn't even make no fucking sense. There's no way you can have a capitalist society and everybody be free. It's impossible. Everybody can't be okay. I'll take out the word free and I'll put everybody can't be okay. And the only reason I'm using the word free in this case by basically the privatized prison complex. I'm thinking about that. But you cannot build a nation in capitalism and everybody be okay. The rule of capitalism is that there has to be an underclass. Matter of fact, for capitalism to be as successful as it needs to be, or at least the way that they frame it, where you're going to have a couple people up here at the top and the rest of y'all motherfuckers is going to work. Relying on 401ks and shit, right? That's the nature of this system. America 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up. incorporated. I added the incorporated to, show that this is this is what it is. Incorporated. So working class people will make up the most of the people. People will be working. Amongst the working class people, you'll have your caves, you'll have your Hispanic caves, you'll have your Asian caves, you'll have your Indian caves, you'll have all these caves, and amongst these working class people, okay, all of them anti-black. Amongst the ones that's up the ladder, the richer caves, they're anti-black too. So there is no, socioeconomic gap here that maybe it's the poor ones that's racist and the rich ones not. No, culturally, they're all binded on their anti-blackness. And I'm supposed to say that's not real just to get along with these motherfuckers. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse that. The notion that I would do that or feel the need to do that, I refuse it outright. A white motherfucker can't tell me shit. A Hispanic motherfucker can't tell me shit. An African or any other black immigrant can't tell me shit. I don't care what they're talking about at all. I'll cuss all these bitches out. That's what I do. I just cuss them out. You can't be talking to me. I'm not going to listen to anybody talk to me because I'm black. That's why I'm not listening to nobody. Everybody anti-black. Why am I listening to your opinion of me and everybody anti-black? That means your opinion is tainted with anti-blackness. So why the fuck am I going to let you judge me? Why the fuck am I going to let you talk to me and tell me who I am? Why the fuck do I feel ashamed? Am I supposed to feel some shame because you said I'm supposed to feel some shame? Because you said I'm supposed to be. Now all of us now are supposed to be rich. If you're not rich, then you're supposed to be ashamed. That's why all these niggas is faking rich online. It's bullshit. This is what disconnects you. We've disconnected from reality completely. Okay? So now, since the word is everybody's supposed to be rich, now everybody acting rich. That's not the situation here. You're not going to shame me for that. Well, y'all black folk been over there for, so many years and y'all ain't rich. I'm rich already. I just got here. That don't make me feel nothing. Don't give a fuck about that. Don't feel the need to act rich to try to, front like that's what life is over here. I think this is where these illusions, and we feed into these delusions and illusions. I feel like we feed into the mirage of America. We feed into that. Because we out here faking it all the goddamn time. Struggling. In debt. But looking good while we're doing it. It feeds into the mirage that clearly racism isn't a thing. Gotta be gone. Everybody over here faking like they're rich, faking like they got money. Niggas having stupid ass 50-50 conversations. Everybody got money. It feeds into the mirage. But in reality, the unemployment rate, and particularly for black people, is excessively high right now. And particularly for black women, their unemployment rate is risen exponentially over the last few months. But everybody still got to act rich. Why? This is why people get it confused from the outside looking in. That's why. Because we make this shit look good. Don't we? That's one thing I'm not here. I'm a black American. One thing I'm going to give black Americans, and I must give black Americans, we going to make this shit look good. Oh, yeah. In poverty or not. We're going to make it look good. But for the people from the outside looking in, be looking around like, well, shit, what's the problem? We don't want to talk about racism because they've shamed us into not talking about racism. They've shamed it and called it, you having a victim mentality. But so we don't want to talk about the racism. And all people see is us dancing. Right? Dancing and doing little cool ass transitions on TikTok, right? That's what black America is. A bunch of dancing ass niggas that's out here looking good. Hair done, haircut, everything looking good. So from the outside looking in, a motherfucker might believe a bitch motherfucker like Stephen A. Smith. They'll say, well, racism ain't really like that. Like they overgassing the shit because we make everything look good. That's what we do. That's what we've done. So you're going to be out here looking good, making it like a big ass party every day of the week, right? And then you allow for them to shame you into not even talking about the racism, regardless of the fact that I look good, bitch. Yeah, I look good. I might look good. That doesn't mean racism isn't a real thing. That doesn't mean that redlining ain't a real thing. That doesn't mean that in the poor areas in this country, not only black, also white areas too, but nobody wants to talk about, there aren't any businesses infrastructure. The capitalism said, well, I need to make more money, so I'm going to send all these jobs overseas. That's the rule of capitalism. That has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican. Y'all make it about party lines a lot of times, and y'all just don't want to look at it's America 3Ks. Don't get this shit fucked up, incorporated. So now the rule says, well, because the rich have to get richer, right? I'm going to move all these jobs to overseas. That's just the rules of capitalism. Right? And then people out here, looking good as we are, they move all these jobs out of the areas, and then we'll look at you like, bitch, why you ain't working? And if you ask them where's the fucking jobs, they'll say, well, you making an excuse. You just a lazy bitch. Right? Never forget that they called a black woman a welfare queen. Don't y'all forget that. Don't y'all forget any of that. Because what they try to do is shame you at all times to make you feel bad about who you are. Now, even needing government assistance is a shameful endeavor. Like EBT, yeah, fucking right. I would never do that shit. They're able to shame you while moving jobs away, nowhere to work. Everybody driving Uber now. Yeah. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all this type of shit, which is, and that's not me knocking it at all, but that became a job market that is basically your contract worker, but that's something that you do and the work is outsourced right here where you are in whatever city you may live in. But the factory jobs, a lot of them, overseas, gone. They moving them. That's capitalism. How's that? But now, that's black folk fault. These jobs not paying you no goddamn money because the CEO at the top has to make all the money. That's capitalism. You're not making a livable wage. Capitalism. That's what that is. And we sit around, don't want to talk about it. Don't want to say anything about it because now we're ashamed to talk about it. Because they told us now that's a victim mentality. No, bitch, I'm talking about capitalism and the rules. This is a system, an economic system that the rules, you have to have a mostly working class. You have to have dirt poor here at the bottom. Homeless even further down. Ain't no other way for it to work. That's a victim mentality. And y'all let them tell y'all this shit. And then all we want to talk about is gun violence in inner cities. This is the conversation. If you ain't talking about that, then everything else you say is a victim mentality. If you're not shaming niggas, y'all niggas need to stop killing each other. Which I agree. It's silly. High level coon shit if you ask me. But okay, once you pan out, if that's literally have to be your entire conversation, that's why these white Republicans, that's all they talk about when it comes to black people. Crime, gun violence. They'll make those arguments against us because they know that those arguments work on us and it puts us into a shame position. What poor people you know across this entire world that don't engage in crime? There isn't one. There isn't a group out here. This is not black specific. It has nothing to do with us as a race. It's not a genetic defect that we have on birth. Nothing. But they're able to leverage that against us because we let them bitches get into a moral position to where they could leverage that against us instead of telling them bitches what they did. We let them off the hook. We let them off the hook for bombing churches with kids in it and shit. We let them off the hook for the KKK. We let them off the hook for all of that shit. The atrocities that took place during slavery. We've let them off the hook. Now they get to look at you and say, well, y'all shooting each other, so, Now that's the shame. They're not ashamed of anything they did. They'll tell your bitch ass to move on and forget. They're not ashamed of nothing that they do. I just seen it was a fucking, some mass shooting that happened here recently. I want to say it was a so-called transgender motherfucker just opened fire, some white cave motherfucker. And they get they can disassociate. Oh, that was them. Yeah, that was they'll use words like, well, he was a Democratic, they'll get to use political lines to distance themselves away from them. That's an individual. They had an individual problem. They was having some mental problems, psychologically damaged. But for you black people, it's a birth defect. The most violent people on earth can tell you about goddamn violence, can run off crime data to you, and you feel ashamed to talk about slavery, to talk about your history, to talk about anything. You feel ashamed. Now, y'all feel so ashamed that, again, you're subletting Black History Month to Hispanics. You got to bring attention to what they're going through in February, in your month. We're that kind. We're that type of people. We feel as though this is next to God. I mean, this is what the Christian way, and I would argue that that mentality has really held us back a lot. This is the Christian way. I'm going to love you no matter what you say about me. I don't feel that way at all. Because maybe God does forgive, but I haven't. I don't want to say that I don't have the wherewithal or the compassion to forgive. I just haven't yet. I've been given a reason to yet. They haven't given me a reason to yet. I would argue that I don't think they even looking for a reason to. I don't think they give a fuck one way or another. They just want me to shut up talking about it, but they don't give a fuck about actually doing something to get the forgiveness, to get us to quote unquote get past it. They're just telling you to. And many of us do. Don't nobody want to hear about that black shit, man. Oh, y'all don't know how many times I've heard that. Don't nobody want to hear about that black shit, man. From other black people. Don't nobody want to hear about that shit, that slave shit, man. Don't nobody want to even talk about that. Really? Y'all don't want to talk about it. Meanwhile, the so-called Jews make sure that you never forget about theirs. And it's nothing in comparison to what you've been through over here. Nothing. Fails in comparison in every way possible. Chattel slavery. Nothing like it on earth. But you saying niggas don't even, like, hey, that black shit. Nobody want to hear that shit, man. That's what black people will say. You see what I'm saying? That's the mentality you're dealing with. Even this is this. Y'all talk about FBA, not FBA. This is FBA niggas will tell you. Nobody want to hear that shit. We trying to turn up, have fun, pop bottles and, whatever the fuck niggas be doing. Partying, dancing. That's what niggas want to do. And all your pro-black conversation is interrupting that. That's the FBA mentality. Ignore it because white folks said if you talk about it, that's a victim mentality. They've been able to get that over on you. That's worked. You went through the worst atrocity in human history with chattel slavery, and they able to tell you to get the fuck over it. Move on. Move forward. And you said, yes, sir. Yes, sir, boss. You's right. Let me get it. How the fuck you get over? I mean, how? Somebody tell me how the fuck they've gotten over. I don't know. Therapy? We damn sure didn't get no group therapy. We got arguments that we can make for real life PTSD. They give it to the niggas that went to Iraq and fought overseas and shit. Well, we got arguments that we could make for PTSD too, as a people in America. They speak against reparations. I see somebody talking about reparations over here, but they speak against those. You even got black people that will speak against reparations. Is what it is. So it's like, well, reparations become a conversation that is very polarizing because you have two ends of the spectrum. You got people that feel like we deserve reparations, which I don't even think it's a feeling. I don't like when people like, well, I feel like we deserve, like, not a feeling. We are owed reparations. This ain't no feeling shit. This ain't no emotional shit. This is just basic shit. If anybody else in the world got reparations, then we deserve reparations. Not feel like. We deserve them. The fact that they haven't given them is a goddamn crime. Okay? That's a crime. That's theft, if you ask me. That's how I look at it. They stole all of our, what I would call our wealth of our labor. They stole it. And they got a nerve to talk shit about you stealing, what they be talking about, holding up liquor stores and shit. Like these bitches they stole your entire labor. Not only your labor, your child's labor that was born on it. Like, stop letting these bitches talk to y'all. I don't care how good, maybe well-wishing a white motherfucker is. Stop letting them talk to you. They cannot talk to you. You shouldn't be ashamed about knowing that you are owed reparations. Now, you may deal with the fact that, you may not actually get the reparations because they're not going to. But there's no way a black person is standing on the opposite side of reparations and y'all respect them. That doesn't even make any sense. They don't deserve any respect. I don't give a fuck what they're talking about. You don't stand on the opposite side of just an argument or a concept. I mean, at this point. But just what niggas will do. Y'all niggas don't know what to do with reparations. You see people saying this type of shit all the time. Y'all niggas just gonna go buy Jordans. Y'all niggas just gonna go buy chains. Y'all niggas just gonna buy rims. And black people will say this stupid shit. I've heard pro-black niggas say this stupid shit. Y'all niggas ain't ready for reparations. I think Umar done said that stupid shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all don't know what to do with reparations. Bitch, what? Speak for yourself. Y'all niggas is individualistic until we get the reparations. Then, y'all don't know. We don't know. Oh, no, keep your individualistic shit. Say you might gonna be going to do that. But this government does not believe that black people gonna go buy no goddamn rims and black people gonna go buy no goddamn chains. You can't believe that and call yourself pro-black. You can't. It's a ridiculous argument. How do you believe something that crazy? If they thought you niggas gonna go buy rims, chains, they would have been gave you the goddamn money. They know that's not what the fuck gonna happen. Not saying that some people may do that. But they know that there are gonna be enough people that not trick off the bread that we gonna have it's gonna be a power being built within us, a financial power being built amongst us. They know that shit. You niggas sitting around talking about some goddamn, y'all niggas don't know what to do with the money. Bitch, I do. Don't worry about me. Even if I do go get me a big stupid ass chain, bitch, don't you worry about it. This is what I'm talking about. Because we sit around talking about each other like this. That's what FBA even does that. Yeah. That's how we talk about each other. Oh, y'all niggas, y'all gonna go buy weed and chains and weave and all this stupid ass shit. Bitch, fuck you and fuck what you talking about. That's your argument against reparations is all black people gonna go buy some, like, you sound dumb. Because even in you saying that, you're saying you're not one of the black people that's gonna go do that, right? So then why don't you think there's more than one of you? But these are arguments that we'll make against FBA will make these same stupid ass arguments against reparations. Y'all niggas don't know what to do with them. Get the fuck out of here. That's anti-black. They know. You can't believe that they think you niggas gonna go buy Jordans. Because that's putting money in their pocket. If they thought all you niggas was gonna do with reparations is give it right back, they'd have been gave it to your ass. Just to shut you the fuck up. And I done said that before. They'd have been gave it. If they really thought you was gonna go buy Jordans and weave and cars and all this stupid shit, that's putting money in their pocket. Why wouldn't they give it to you? If that's what they thought everybody was gonna do. They know better than that. They know better than that. You just don't. You think so lowly of yourself that you will sit here and say this about your own goddamn people. And I can't stand it. Oh, I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate that we talk like that about each other. Oh, y'all niggas gonna do it. Hey, bitch, fuck you. You don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. What are you talking about? So again, this is what, when I talk about B123, I'm coming in as a person who, my blackness, how I stand in my blackness on a daily basis at all time. This shirt, that's a prime example right here on my shirt. If you want to order the shirt, links in the bio. Prime example right here. This is how I walk through this bitch. Fuck y'all. Like, I have disdain and contempt for these motherfuckers. And for all the caves and coons, I got contempt for all of them. That's how my blackness works. That's how my B123 shit works. Black first, second, and third is how it works. I feel like this. I have contempt. Not just, some of us are just kind of passers-by in our blackness. We exist in our blackness. We try to get into areas where, we can, chill, I guess essentially, or live like a peaceful ass life. No, I got contempt, disdain, and I'm not ashamed of it. Somebody want to debate me? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Said Bless TV says, Rob, I'm still gonna debate you. I ain't forgot. Okay. Debate me about what? Is there a way I can? What do you want to debate me about? I guess give me the subject that you want to debate me about, and we can get it in. And it's no big deal. Because this now I'm interested. Like, debate me about what? Debate me about what? Stop this. D9 Rochelle says most FBA want reparations and know it's owed. Who are you talking to? Here's what I'm gonna say to you, D9. I want you to listen to me, okay? Listen to everything I'm saying. If your argument is that FBA is not a group, not an organization, but a lineage, you're saying that most of the 40 plus million FBAs want reparations. You're lying. They don't feel like it's owed. How can you speak if y'all gonna argue that it's not a group, but then y'all talk about it like it's a group? So you're gonna have to pick your side. The FBA is gonna have to pick a side, because I'm with you when you say it's a lineage. Well, now that you're saying it's a lineage, that means that there are 40 plus million. Now, when you talk about what most FBA want, how? You can talk about the FBAs that may be on your page, that may be following let's say Tariq or something like that. But if Tariq had 40 million subscribers, then okay. But I don't know how many subscribers he has exactly, but I bet you it's not 40 million. So when you talk about, let's even say, I'll even do you the mathematical favor of saying it's even 30 million. What FBA content leader on the internet that you know of that has anywhere even near 1 million subscribers? So when you talk about FBA, you're talking about your group of FBA. You can't talk about it that way per your own argument about FBA. I'm sorry. You just can't. So when you talk about most, I hear niggas say that niggas don't know what to do with reparations. If you're saying you never heard it, you can say that. I've never heard an FBA say that, but Umar Johnson said it. So there's one. If you don't know any other FBA, ain't he FBA? And one of the most, what we talking about, the Prince of Pan-Africanism and all this old shit, he said you niggas don't even know what to do with reparations. Y'all don't deserve them like that. That's what he said. So when you talk about FBA, if y'all going to say it's not an organization, y'all need to stop talking about it like it's an organization. If it's a lineage, then you can't speak to all the niggas I've ever talked to in my life. You can't. All you can speak to is the FBA niggas that's in your group, your FBA group, whatever that is, or wherever you are on the internet or wherever. We just got to be real about it. You can't speak to what most FBA, I don't think you can do that. Not realistically. You could say the FBA that you are familiar with want reparations. And I know that. I'm not, I understand. I'm out here for real. So I'm not saying every single FBA, but I'm saying I've heard these arguments from FBAs about how niggas don't know what to do with the money. And if you tell me you've never heard that, then I would feel like you're being disingenuous. But you can't speak for 40 million niggas and your group is you got 30, 40 niggas in your group and now you trying to speak for 40 million niggas? How? If it's a lineage, how are you doing that? I don't understand that. Y'all gonna have to pick a side. I'm with you on the lineage thing. I'm FBA by default. However I present, I'm FBA. Based on the rules of FBA, I'm FBA. So even if I was a coon, I'm still FBA. Even if I said fuck reparations, I'm still FBA. It just so happens that I'm B123. I'm a so-called pro-black or would be whatever the fuck. So that's just where I fall on this side of the coin. That's all. I just happen to be this type of FBA. But I'm very interested in this debate that we're supposed to be having. Yeah, I'm interested in what said Bless is talking about. What you got? Let me know in the comments what you actually have, if you are. But y'all FBA gotta stop that for real. Like real shit. You can't make an argument for a lineage and then talk about it like it's a group. You gotta relax. In my opinion. You're gonna have to relax. So at least, you know, okay. Okay. If that's what you said about Umar. Okay. I'm not making it about Tariq. You didn't listen. I asked you, and then the first thing I said to you, D9, is listen to what I'm saying. That's the first thing I asked you to do. And all you pulled about out of everything I said is it's not about Tariq. It's about the history in the country. How are you saying that in response to what I just said? We talk about, and I said this on a Facebook post the other day, we talk about how low reading comprehension is. I would argue that listening comprehension may be even lower. I'm speaking very clearly. I'm not making it about social media. You are. You made it about social media when you said most FBAs want reparations. How do you know that? What are you saying when you say that? I guess maybe. What are you saying? How do you know what 30 million black people say? How can you speak to that? If FBA, I guess I don't understand your responses to what I'm saying by saying this. I don't know what you're saying. Honestly, I'm just gonna be real with you, because I would feel like you're not listening to what I'm saying. I made a sound argument. You're talking about FBA like it's a group. You said most FBA, and I'm asking you, how are you saying most FBA? What is your sample group? This is where we get into technical, You said because it's a debt owed, who would not want to receive a debt being paid? I understand that. But there are still people who speak against reparations. So then you don't ask me this, ask them this. Why are you asking me? I'm for reparations. So I'm not one of the FBAs who are against reparations. I'm not one of the ones that will say niggas don't know what to do with the money. I'm not saying that. So I don't understand what you mean. I'm the one, I know what reparations is. I don't need no education from you about what reparations is. I know it's a debt. Oh, I just said it. But niggas will argue that niggas don't need reparations because they don't know what to do with the money. And they call themselves that's tough love on black people. So I don't know why you coming at me. I don't know why you coming at me. Earlier I said that most FBAs are coons. You gonna say that most of them ain't? I mean, if you can speak for FBAs, if that's what you can do, I just don't know how you speak for 30 million niggas. Don't know how you do it. I can't even do it. I mean, it seems like a feat that I can't do. And if all that we have as far as metrics are concerned is social media, this is where likes and numbers are counted. And I mean, I don't know. You can add up every FBA channel you want to. Will you get to 1 million people? I don't think you will. I just don't. Especially to my pro-black. Pro-black isn't even popular. Let's peel this back. I mean, let's peel this back for a half a second real quick. Pro-black isn't even popular amongst blacks in America. So I'm FBA. I know that. You're in, what, are you going to deny that? Or how are we going to deal with this? Like, what conversation are we having? Because being pro-black isn't even what majority of black people are in this country. That's before you get to immigrants, before you get to adding up all of the tethers and all this old shit. Most black people aren't pro-black. So now you're able to speak for most black people, and most black people aren't even pro-black. They feel as though it's a waste of time to be pro-black. I've been dealing with this before y'all even came out with the FBA. I've been dealing with this shit. Trying to convince black people to care enough about their culture, their history, their I ain't gonna just say history. I want to say our racial history, because I think that makes it very unique. trying to get to care about that, that's been a struggle for me. That's a struggle for any pro-black person that does it. Have you looked historically, look at the people. Look at everybody who's been pro-black. Did they have the whole nation? No. No. That's not what happened. Even the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party, and I always use this stat, out of the, at that time, it was about 25 to 30 million black people in the country at that time. The Black Panther Party had a membership in America of about 5,000. You understand that? 5,000 out of 30 million people. Pro-blackness has not been the popular ideology amongst black people. We just got to be real about that. That's regardless FBA or not. We got to be real about that. It just is what it is. I'm not proud of it. Shit. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Paris, what you talking about? You said R.I.P. Jesse Jackson. Okay. But can we get to your breakdown on him being an agent? I don't know what there is to break down, Paris. What you mean? He worked for the American government. When you say, what you mean when you say breakdown? What are you, I guess, what are you asking me for in that? I thought this was a known fact. I thought people knew that him and Al Sharpton worked for the government. Al Sharpton has admitted it outright. Now, some people hold Jesse Jackson responsible for setting up MLK. Some people hold him for that. They'll say, nigga, you set him up. So they'll hold him for that. But I know he was working with the FBI and CIA. I thought that was a known thing that those guys were. So I don't know if there's much to break down. I guess you have people that will believe that he didn't work for the government and people that believe that he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's much to really... He did coin and he came up with African American. He did do that. He's known for that. The Rainbow Coalition shit he was on. He's known for that. You know, those civil rights niggas, a lot of them were controlled opposition. I thought that was just a known fact. You see what I'm saying? When you say break it down, I ain't about to try to convince niggas. I'm in a different era of my life. I'm not convincing niggas of shit. I'm done trying to convince niggas. I'm here to get us to hold our fucking heads up. I'm not trying to convince niggas of history. If they believe Jesse Jackson wasn't an agent, okay. If they believe Al Sharpton wasn't an agent or isn't, okay. I'm not even gonna argue with niggas. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Nothing comes from it. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. Jack said Umar said black people wouldn't know what to do with reparations when black people rushed to donate money to Umar's school that still isn't even built. Now, according to what people were telling me, Umar Johnson does have the school thing going up right now. It's up. He says it's finished. I don't know, but that's what people are saying. So, you know, it's not my job to even, you know, deal with him as far as that. I don't even listen to Umar anymore. He's too friendly. He's too open. And I don't fuck with that. So I don't really listen to Brother Umar Johnson at all. At all. So I can't, you know, either confirm or deny. I can't. Umar has gotten way too friendly for me. Way too inclusive for me. His Pan-Africanism is turning into kumbaya-ism. And I can't do that with Brother Umar or anybody. I mean, it's not just him. He, you know, it's just too much. He's really nice to everybody, and I can't do it. I cannot do it. I'm still waiting on the one brother to. What are we supposed to be debating on? You still haven't told me what we're supposed to be debating on, unless I missed it. What is there to debate? About what I've said here, or what, you know what I'm saying? What are we going on? I still don't see it. I see you said you ain't forgot. but I don't see anything else. Okay. Okay, this is this what you want? Okay, you want to debate? Okay, you want to debate this? It says you seem to be confused about foundational Black Americans. You think we some sellouts. I don't think. I don't think that. It's a fact. It's just about being born here and having extra ancestry here. No, I'm not. I'm not confused. You sound like you confused about what I'm saying. I know y'all don't like to hear that y'all niggas is coons, but the proof is, I mean, what more evidence am I needing to lay out here? What is there to debate? Do you want to come up on the show right now? I don't forget how to do it. I don't forget how to bring niggas up. Do you want to come up here now? Said Blessed TV says, I remember one time you said we have no culture and we have the most popular one. Do you want to debate that? Because I can argue why I say we don't have no culture. And because it's not about you. When y'all talk about culture, y'all be talking about food and dance and dress. That's not what I'm talking about. Culture isn't built on that. No culture is built on that. It's built on having and at least a some type of pride in your race. That's not what our culture is built on. Again, pro-blackness is not popular in our community. It's a joke. Niggas make jokes about hoteps and shit like that. That's not what's permeating in our community. Our culture isn't built on pro-blackness. It is not. It may be built on being black, but not pro-blackness. Every other culture is built on pro, whatever that culture is. Whether it's pro-Hispanic, pro-white, it's built on that. And that's the tie that binds that culture, that keeps that culture together. Black people have not done that with culture yet. We are saying our culture is hip-hop. That's music. You can't build a culture on that. So if you want to debate that, hold on. Let me figure out how to put the link for you to come up here. If you want to debate, fuck. How do you fucking? No, hold on. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this shit. How do you? Okay, maybe this way. I'm gonna try it like this. But if you want to debate, see if that link came through there and see if it allows you to come up here. If you want to tell me what your issue is with what I have to say, what I have to say about what I've said so far. If it allows you to. If it doesn't work, what I'll do is my next time I go live, I will just do an all debate show. It'll just be whatever niggas want to have issues with whatever I've said. If you want to say that, we have a culture, again, it's just, I'm not saying that we don't have we don't have a culture that's built and based on, it doesn't tie us into our blackness the way it should. And I'm going to stand on that. And I can debate that with anyone. Because all y'all niggas going to talk to me about is food, music, and dance. So. And while those are aspects of culture, that's not what builds a culture. That's not the foundation in which culture is built on. You got to be pro yourself. Ain't that? I mean, at the very minimum, you got to be pro yourself and very staunch about it, very aggressive about it. That's every other culture, period. I mean, it just is what it is. Where we are ashamed to talk about slavery, we're ashamed to talk about history. How the fuck we ashamed? We got a culture. Why would we be ashamed of our culture? Why would we be ashamed of our history? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's a conversation to have, and I'm not trying to be even offensive. I'm not trying to offend because I'm FBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know our culture is. I've looked at our culture, and all niggas talk about is hip hop music. What about the niggas that don't listen to hip hop? So how do you then grip in the people who don't listen to hip hop, who don't have urban culture, who don't wear the clothes that you wear? How do you get the black people who are, okay, here we go. Enter the stage. Let me add you to the stage and let me see if it's going to sound, oh, damn. Oh, no, there you go. Okay. Add to the stage. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Are you the one that want to debate me, I guess, on culture or whatever?
Most definitely. Because you say
Okay.
you don't have any culture, and just based around, hip hop and,
Okay.
and stuff like that. I mean, that's part of it. But
Mm-hmm.
we put in work as far as building the foundation of this country. Slavery,
Yes.
we also had great ideas and inventions that a lot of them
Yes.
were stolen, and they said a lot of white people did it. But realistically, when you do the research and look into the history, you see a lot of our patents, things we invented, was stolen, taken from us, and a lot of the whole structure of America was built on black people.
Okay.
I mean, I don't believe that we were here before slavery, but a lot of us here before slavery.
Yes.
And I don't like how people try to like reduce us to just rap music or dancing or maybe street and hood culture. I mean, that's a little bit of it, but we way bigger than that. Had a way bigger impact in the world and in America. People that just act like we have no culture at all.
Okay. Now I want you to understand that I'm in agreement with everything you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
But then let me ask you, because we're not, when you talk about inventions, I'm not disrespecting black inventions at all. I know that we built the country. I mean, literally the word, I know we built the country and all that. What I'm saying is what ties us together culturally across America. That's where, to me, that's the part we're missing. I'm not saying we have the music, we have the inventions, we have history here. We were here before. We have all of everything else, but we don't have that one, that main component. What's going to tie, let's say, the black person that lives in Maine to the black person that lives in California? What ties us together is what I'm saying we're missing. That part of culture we do not have in any type of way, because like I told you, even with pro-blackness, it's not popular, brother. To me, if we had a culture that's built in what I would argue what it should be built in, then pro-blackness would be it would be across the board, and we know that it's not. I see that it's not. Maybe you saying that it is, but I'm not talking about the pieces, the bits and pieces. I'm talking about the through line of our culture. For white people, it's anti-blackness. A white person from Massachusetts hates you. A white person from California hates you. A white person from Nova Scotia hates you. That's their culture. That's what white culture is built in. Ours isn't built in pro-blackness. I'll give you the floor.
Okay. It's a lot of negativity regarding the black people because you got to understand a lot of people are brain and sit against each other. You can't take the clown, the riffraff, and the people that don't really understand and make them the face of what we're doing.
I'm not.
And like you talking about earlier, other people like that, Afro.
Me too.
Yeah, you yourself. A lot of people
Right. Throw me in there. Shit.
See us win, but it's we have that don't care or actually doing negative things. You can't let those people be the face of what we're doing. You got to be so strong and vigilant that like that don't matter, and we're made of the community.
Yeah, I understand that. But again, you're not, hear me out one more time. When we look at other cultures, the face of their knuckleheads, whatever, their riffraffs, their criminals, guess what they still have, bro? They're still anti-black. It doesn't matter what iteration, the rich, the poor, the janitor, the doctor, the grocery bagger, the construction worker, they're all anti-black. What I'm saying that we're missing, the key component, I think would really solidify our culture, is if we had pro-blackness as the foundation of our culture. I understand what you're saying, that these knuckleheads or the ones that aren't just on some bullshit shouldn't be the face, and they shouldn't be. I don't think that they are. But pro-blackness is a very small niche, almost even side quest of blackness, and that's just the facts. I'm not happy about it. But as you talk about even when you mentioned Tariq, me, that's a small That's not the culture. Culture would span it across everybody. That's what culture is. It spans across everybody. So that's why I said, I'm only using hip hop because that's what some people will use hip hop. But that's more of a, I guess, a cultural thing that we all will come in and be like, well, yeah, most of us will come in and fuck with that. But then there are people who don't listen to hip hop. So I say we can't use that. There has to be a through line throughout all of us, not just you, me, and Tariq. That's a small group of people. I would even say not just, let's say if you even said 2 million black people, that's still a small group of people to where culturally your mentality, my mentality, even Tariq's mentality, that's not the permeating or the large mentality. Most of our culture is assimilation. It's trying to be next to whiteness, trying to be accepted by whites. That's what a lot of at the root of our culture, that's what's there. So the same way that you can have, like, for example, like I said, you can have a motherfucker be from, like I said, Nova Scotia. They're still anti-black. How is that possible? Because white culture is built on anti-blackness. Ours is just built on what it seems like vibes a lot of times. Vibes, and we are the culture, we are swag. We build it on that, and I respect and love all that about us. I'm part of it. But I don't think we have a through line to connect the white person in Iowa to the black person in Iowa to the black person in Florida. But the Iowa white and the Florida white both hate our black ass. That's, to me, they built their culture in anti-blackness. Hispanics the same way. They just have that pride that stretches across their entire culture, and I think we're missing that.
Yeah, but that's part of it. That's part of the negative outlook that we get. As far as us, our outlook is looking at us like, oh, we just don't have no unity. We're not on, we're not
We
on
don't.
code. There's enough people getting on code nowadays, and I would say maybe 5 years back or so. I feel like we're getting better and more on code overall. I think so. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's perfect. I won't. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say it's perfect. I say as a people, I feel like we starting in a direction as far as Black Americans, especially with the NBA movement. A lot of people being more pro-black, more getting on each other. It's not perfect. We still have a lot of people out here, but I still feel like we in the right direction as far as Black people in America. We're trying to do something better. You gotta give us some credit. At
Yes.
least try to do a little better what we're doing here in America. And a lot of tethers are the problem. I'm not gonna say everybody.
Hold on 1 second, brother. They say you're echo.
America is
Hold on
hear
one
me
second,
now?
brother. Hold on 1 second. No, I can hear you, but there it's an echo. So I'm thinking that's because, see, hold on. Let me try to figure out why there's an echo. See, this that. Damn. Hold on. Let me try to fix this real quick, brother.
All right.
Hold on. Let me try this. Um, Let me try that. Okay, hold on, brother. Let me make sure the sound is good. Go ahead and start speaking, brother. Let me make sure let
Okay.
me know if y'all if there's still an echo.
We have a lot of people that's striving to do better as far as black people. In the last 5 years or so, I feel like a lot of people are doing way better. But we have a lot of tethers. A lot of people don't like that word tethers, but it's not just talking about immigrants. If you're an immigrant, you can be on code with black people. I got love for immigrants and people that's in the diaspora. But a tether, you somebody that try to undermine black people, say, oh, we don't need reparations. A lot of times these people be in positions like in political positions saying we don't need reparations and shit like that. So it becomes very dangerous when they put people that look like us but don't necessarily have the culture that we have and the mindset to actually want reparations. A lot of times these people say, oh, we're just gonna spend our money, we don't need it. And then you come to find out they wasn't gonna get it anyway because they wasn't a part of our lineage.
That's a fact. Now that I agree with. I want to make sure people can hear it because they're saying you're a little low.
They
Um,
throw us they throw us under the bus all the time by saying what they feel we need, even though they're not gonna get it either way. But the fact that
Right.
they want to be negative or and say, "Oh, we don't need reparations," or y'all just gonna blow the money anyway, just like they said, Dr. Umar even said that. But he had people spending money with him to build a school that's just now being built. 10 years ago, he said he was, trying to build that school, but he want to
Yes.
then tell us what we're not able to do with our money or what we're gonna do. It's just a lot of things that's not in place. Like it's not even just people that's not from the diaspora, because we have people like Jasmine Crockett that's in position with the Democrats. She talking about black people just don't pay taxes. That's reparations. Like, no, we need a little bit more than that as far as
A lot
reparations.
more.
Like
Yes.
she says that, and a lot of people, unfortunately, people that I know, they follow people like that and feel like
Yes.
she's
Well,
diabolical
okay.
Trump.
Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Now, as you say that a lot of people follow Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine Crockett is a FBA, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. If we were all on code, our politicians would be on code too. You see what I'm saying? Like if we had that cultural through that part that we're missing is what Jasmine Crockett don't. She ain't gonna have it. And the people that agree with her not gonna have it. The people that agree with Dr. Umar when he said we don't deserve reparations, they don't have that. If we were all, then we would be on code and would nobody be talking about, well, they don't deserve reparations. Would
some
nobody
many
be
of
saying that
us
if we had that? If
live
we
in
had that through line in our culture,
it's Democrats, man. It's the political parties. A lot of people are brainwashed by these political parties,
you
unfortunately.
think it's Democrats? I think it's Christianity.
It's both, actually. I feel it's
Okay.
both. A lot of people are brainwashed by religion and they brainwashed by politics. And when you put the motherfuckers hand in hand, oh my God, man, motherfuckers are brainwashed to the next level. So I believe Jasmine Crockett, she may be
Well,
Christian.
hold on. Don't move past that because if you're saying that we have, you saying that most of we do have this through line through the culture, but then you say most of us are Democrat Christians, right?
Well,
That's,
we leaning off, yeah, as of now, yes, a lot of us are
I
still
mean, we got to
Democrat.
be real about where we
But
are, right?
but I will say a lot of people are waking up now. That Democrat bullshit, that's something that set us back. Democrats
Okay.
and I would say Christianity, that set us back
Yeah,
as well.
that's fair.
Um,
But that makes up most black people in the country. Most black people are going to bond on their Christianity versus bonding on their blackness. This is what I'm talking about as it comes to or as it pertains to black culture and what that is and what it's built on. Most black people are going to identify as Christians first before they even identify as black. How is that possible in a Christian? Because like when I put us next to other races of white people, they're white first.
right.
They're gonna be white first, second, and third. They is goddamn W 1, 2, 3.
That's how you're
So
supposed to be though. For your culture, that's how you're supposed to be.
and we're not that. That's what I'm saying. We are not that by and large. Now you say some people waking up. Okay, I'll give you.
I would
I'll
say
concede to that.
much more people are waking up in the past 5 years than they have in some decades, man. I would say we're getting way better as far as waking up.
I
So
believe it's getting. I believe it is increasing. I think it is getting better. I don't think it's getting
it's
better at
not
the rate that I would
overall.
want it to be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't because we. I mean, social media. I think is allowing for more voices to be heard. Is allowing for more people to take in different ideologies and see what they're about. But if we're being real, right now, culturally, there isn't. We don't have a tie that binds us. We just don't. Most niggas is Christians, and they'll tell you that they Christians proudly. But when it come to black shit, they're gonna back off of that. Especially militant black. They're really not gonna. They're not gonna want to hear anything about that. And I'm not saying this to disrespect FBA in any type of way. I'm not. I'm not trying to disrespect myself. I'm just being honest about where we are because I don't feel like if we're not going to be honest about it, we can't correct or change it or move it forward. We can't. It's going to be impossible if we keep acting like that we're everybody is woke now, and that, but that's not the case at all. At least not based on my experiences and the things that I see and I read. It's just not. It's not. There is no tie that binds black people, and it should be. Like I said, why come these immigrants come over here? These would be what y'all call them tethers, but
Well,
then the white.
tethers are the ones that come here and undermine us. If you're just an
Okay,
immigrant that came
okay,
here from a
fair
tether
enough,
and you still
fair
on
enough.
code with us, we rocking with you.
They okay. So now, as far as now, let's take the would be white immigrants. Okay, let's look at the white immigrants. When they come over here, their anti-blackness automatically lock in step with the anti-blackness of the Americans is already here. There
Yeah,
is no, off code white Australia to Europe to
but you got to
Moscow
realize these
to here.
people are evil, Rob. So
They are.
they parents tell them how to be like this from everywhere. We
Okay,
don't teach
feel
our
me.
kids no shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
This is this is okay. So you wanted to debate, but you gonna sit here and say what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying.
No,
We
I
don't.
just wanted to clarify the FBA situation because a lot of people be talking about like we're like a cult or some shit, or like we're in the MAGA
No,
and we let
I wouldn't do that.
white people tell us what to do, and that's the reason we trying to get away from Africa because white people told us not to and stuff like that. And the whole time it's like, no, we're just trying to emphasize our culture. Just like you have Jamaicans that wave their flag, just like you have Africans that wave whatever flag they have, we can say we Black America and have pride in what we do here because the shit we do here is the most popping shit in the world. They love what we do here.
It is.
Everybody do.
It is.
So I just
But
want to clarify because a lot of people think FBA is some kind of dumb niggas that just listen to white people or we're MAGA, we Trump supporters. No, we just the niggas that was born here and have the culture that's taking the world by storm. Obviously.
I do agree that we have the most popular culture, the most copy culture. My problem is with us is we don't make no money off of it. So that part is a little bit bullshit. Everybody could just come kind of, like a tether onto that culture and make all types of money off of it, but we don't get to profit off that culture. And as far as distribution is concerned, or as far as controlling how we hand it out, we don't control that part of that the
No,
aspect of our culture.
we
But
got
we are the most
gatekeepers,
copied,
Rob. We got gatekeepers. Every FBA ain't good. We got gatekeepers. Some motherfuckers that will see this
right?
person that's maybe Jewish or white, and they will sell out the culture just because they want money. So they
But
will
look at that.
have them control the culture as long as they can be the gatekeepers and decide which niggas can move up in the ladder.
Look at that. If we had a culture like what I'm talking about, ain't no sellouts. Sellouts don't they exist in small number. You see what I'm saying? Like there ain't no gatekeepers. People get to that point and they pull everybody up with them. We don't have enough of that. And like you said earlier, culture is taught to their children. You said white folk evil, they teach it to their children. Why don't we teach pro-blackness to our kids? Why is that a problem? Well, we teach them white Jesus
Some
and
of
we
us
teach them to be Democrats.
Some of us do, but a lot of us will look down on others for doing that. For some strange reason, I don't know. We kind of feel like if we being too pro-black is, I guess, it go back to slavery. Oh, we don't want to
Well,
let
I
nobody
know.
hear.
Hold on. You say you don't know. I'm telling you why. It's because that's not our. We don't have a culture built on that. That's what when you're. I don't know. I have an answer to it. Is what I'm saying. You feel me? Like no disrespect to you or what you're saying, but you saying you don't know. I'm saying I do. It's because we don't have a culture that's built on that at all. That's what my point is. We don't have a with that. If we had a culture built on that, our kids would just get it. It wouldn't be something that some of us are doing. It'd be what most of us are doing because that's our culture. Our culture is not pro-black. It should be pro-black. I feel like that space, there's that gap that we don't have there. Pro-blackness should be inserted in that space, and that's not to disrespect our contributions and what we do and our history. That's not to disrespect any of that. But you're even saying white folk teach their kids to be anti-black, and they do. We don't teach our kids to be pro-black. Most of us don't do that at all. We are ashamed to do that. And I think if we had that in our culture, it would be taught just so well as how to dance or how to dress or
I
everything
would say
else.
that's because of the family structure for the most part. We don't have a family structure that's tight
Well,
where.
see, no, I ain't gonna let you do it. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna let
because
you do
if
it.
you have a good family,
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna come in. Go ahead.
mom, dad, kids, and you have
Mm-hmm.
somebody that has a pro-black mindset and want to see,
Mm-hmm.
black people grow, they will
Mm-hmm.
teach their kids that. But if you
Yes.
have people that have broken homes, a lot of times they don't teach their kids pro-blackness. They just trying to get money. They just trying to, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Watch this. Watch this. Watch what I'm gonna tell you. Watch this though.
Do
Watch
what?
this. If we had a pro-black culture, it wouldn't matter whether it was two parents in the house or one. That that wouldn't stop it. White people don't have to have together homes to teach anti-blackness. That's not a Hispanics don't have to have together homes to teach anti-blackness. I understand what you're saying about the broken home structure, and I don't like that through line that, well, because there ain't two parents in there, then pro blackness can't be taught. No, they would be surrounded by pro blackness. Their mom or dad, who's ever there, the aunt, the grandma, the next door neighbor, the motherfucker down the street. If that was our culture, it wouldn't matter. It would be undefeated. There would be no instance that we could be in where pro blackness would not be and take over. I mean, that would be what we would built on foundational. Our foundation would be built on that culturally, regardless of the outside of the home. It wouldn't matter. We would just be pro-black, regardless of two parents or not. Hell, if your grandma raising you, what does it matter if that's our culture? You see what I'm saying? Because it don't matter if white folk can be adopted by other white folk and it's still passed down. It don't matter. Their culture is anti-black, so it doesn't matter the family structure. They're not as married and together as we like to believe. It doesn't matter. They're still anti-black.
Only reason I say that is because of it's more so as men, our mentality and our job to uphold the racial standard. You know,
Is it? I
for the most
thought they
part,
say the first teachers of the
I
child
feel
is
I
the mother.
feel both people should, but I'm saying
Yes.
it's more likely a man thing that and put their culture inside of their children like that.
Okay.
Women,
So what you're saying is black men don't have a pro-black culture amongst us, and I'm
uh,
agreeing with you.
not as we do, but not as much as
Come
we
on
should.
now.
Yeah, we do because I feel like black men are really the only reason that people even are pro-black in this country now. It's not as many as it should be, but the people that are doing it because they watch people like Tariq. They might watch you. They might watch other people. It's
Right.
because black men, we the ones that's taking the lead and being like, okay, this is what we're supposed to be. This is who we are. But I mean, a lot of times, if a woman raise a kid by herself and she's in like a situation where she might not have a lot of money, might be in a poverty
Yeah.
situation, a lot of
Mm.
times she's not gonna instill that pro blackness into her kids. She's trying to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really necessarily a complete knock to them. It's just saying most of the time it takes a black man with a right his mindset to start leading people to the to better outcomes.
But if it was our culture, brother, here's what I'm saying: sex wouldn't matter. Mother, father becomes that stuff. Don't it wouldn't matter if that was our culture. Now, I would argue that black women or women, period, are the first teachers of the kids. That's why when these white bitches are trying to act like they don't know why their sons is racist, it's bitch you taught them. So the mothers are the first teachers of children. Period. If pro blackness was our culture, then the mom wouldn't. It wouldn't matter dad there, not there. That wouldn't matter. They would still instill that in their kid. That's poor, that's rich. You tell it's basically like, for example, with white folk, poor white people hate niggas, right? Can you agree on that?
Oh, definitely, definitely,
Middle class white people hate niggas, right?
definitely, definitely.
Rich white people hate niggas, right?
Of course, yeah.
So socioeconomic class doesn't stop them from raising their children to be anti-black. So socioeconomic class can't be our, excuse for then, well, it's because she poor and she by herself that no. If that was our culture, it wouldn't none of the stuff that you're saying would matter, to be honest. I mean, respectfully to you, brother. I appreciate you having a conversation with me, but that's exactly what I'm saying. We don't have enough. Our culture isn't built in that. It's just not.
It's
And
been social. I feel like it's been engineered to be that way, though, Rob.
even if
Because
it has been engineered,
remember,
like it doesn't change the facts.
remember when NWA and Ice Cube fell out? Ice Cube, he took the more approach to be more pro black, teaching and trying to be uh more so like a activist type of rapper speaking up for black people.
Okay,
And what did Dr. Dre and them do? They said, "Oh, no medallions, no dress." You remember Dr. Dre said some shit like that? It's
I
because
do.
it's been broken down in two,
Dr.
and
Dre is a coon.
most of us unfortunately took the Dr. Dre side, more gangster type of route. You're not necessarily being a gangster, but they basically saying fuck pro blackness. But
Okay,
we still have a sector of us that's still here
a
trying to
sector.
yeah,
Yes, not a culture. That's what I'm saying. We're
But
saying the same thing.
it starts somewhere though. It has to start somewhere.
It
And that's
it
just
does, but we've always had a sector of pro-blackness though. We've always had a sector. When I talk about the original Black Panther Party, that was a sector. We've always had a sector of pro-blackness. That's not what's at question here. What I'm saying is we don't have a culture of pro-blackness, and that's what we have to build our culture on. Or to me, what is the culture then? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the culture if we just have a small sector of pro-blacks? That's what we've always had through history. We have a small sector trying to move the ball forward. We got a small sector in the 60s, small sector 70s, 80s, 90s. Even with the Dr. Dre, you said most, that would be FBAs. You got to be real because you said people
no,
took
no,
Dr.
no,
Dre's
no.
side.
It can be FBAs and it can be immigrants because they came
Oh,
over
it
here
can
too.
be, but I'm talking about FBAs. Most of us here are FBA. Most of the population in America is FBA. We are the biggest population in this country. You know that. So if you're saying that most of us, you said us, took Dr. Dre's side, then that's exactly what I'm saying. We don't have a culture. We didn't build our culture in pro-blackness. And there's no excuse for it. The socioeconomic excuse isn't enough for me. It being programmed into us, that's not enough for me. I don't None of that stuff matters to me because I know now, like you said, we can take control of our culture and make it into whatever we want it to be. We're just choosing not to. We're choosing to be Christian first. We're choosing to be Democrat first. We're choosing to be ashamed of being pro-black. We're choosing to not want to look racist to motherfuckers that's anti-black anyway. So who gives a fuck what they think or what they looking at? That's what we choosing those things. There ain't nobody stopping us. Ain't nobody holding no gun on us, telling us not to teach our kids pro-blackness. We're choosing not to. And to me, until we change that, we're going to be on this wheel over and over. Every generation, next generation is going to be, a small amount. Not even half of us are pro-black. Not even half. So to me, that's a
The big
problem.
reason is that because of the tethers, bro. I'm telling you, that's the big reason.
How can you blame such a small group of
It's not a
tethers?
small group. It's not a small group. In a lot of metropolises, we have a lot of immigrant classes. And some of them are pro black and ride with us. But a lot of them, a lot of times, just like Bad Bunny had this thing. Seen a lot of tether content creators
Yeah,
being mad at black people, talking about
yeah.
why we wasn't excited for him as if we understood the fucking music. Like, I mean, I don't know. But
And that,
they kept trying to say what we need to do and how,
right?
it was a lot of tethers, man.
But how? So now you're taking away the power from the FBA. Now, because of the tethers,
Not
they
necessarily
don't,
taking the power, but I'm saying
but they
a
don't
lot of
control the
them
culture.
cosplay as us. You know what I'm saying?
They do, but I'm telling you, we are not pro-black, bro. Like it just is what it is. I mean, let's say we do have tethers. How many black people do you think there are? 30 million, 35 million? How many black people do you believe? Not FBA. How many people do you think we have FBA?
FBA, I'd probably say maybe 20 million.
20 million. Okay, and I think that's a number
Exclusively
that's low, but we'll
FBA, and we have some immigrants and outsiders too.
okay. So you say 20 million FBA straight up, right?
Yeah,
Of that 20 million, how many do you believe is pro-black?
honestly, I would say
Honestly,
I say maybe 30%.
30. So a third of the 20 million is pro-black. That's way generous. But even if it is a third that's pro-black, what do you think it'll take for us to make that third become, I guess, at least 70, 80%? What do you think that's going to take? Do you think it's going to come by us denying this fact or us approaching this conversation in honesty and saying, hey, we don't have a population of pro-blacks? And I would argue we may have maybe 10,000 pro-black. I don't even believe the 30% number because that puts us up in the millions. I don't believe that at all. But even using your numbers, what do you think is going to take? I don't think us denying this is going to help move us forward as a people.
Oh
I
no,
really
definitely
don't.
not. Definitely not. I understand what you're saying, but it's gonna take more teaching, more learning, and realizing that everybody can't go.
That's fair.
Even if you try to help a lot of people and teach them things, you can teach them how to swim. But I mean, you can take them to the water, but you can't teach them how to swim. Basically, what
But
you're
if it
saying.
was our culture, we'd already know how to swim. That's what I'm saying. That's my argument. Like, if it was our culture, you wouldn't have to lead them to water. They're already there and they're already swimming. There would be no need to, like I said earlier, I spent my time trying to convince black people to be pro-black. I know if our culture was built in pro-blackness, I wouldn't have to do the convincing work. Now I'm getting away from trying to convince niggas. I'm done trying to convince niggas. I am getting away from that. But
All you gotta do is
that's
speak the
been
truth,
the
man.
work.
Just speak the truth. You ain't gotta force them to do nothing. Just keep speaking the truth.
And to me it is what it is. I don't think we disagree a lot. Honestly, I think maybe hearing that we have no culture and having so many tethers say disrespect us by saying that we don't have no culture, because they're not talking about it the way I'm talking about it. I think hearing that is jarring. But when you hear me out, we're not saying nothing that's too much different. You're saying we have a small sector of people who are pro-black. I'm saying that, hell, why is it a small sector? Why is it
A lot of
always
factors,
a
man. You
small
gotta think
sector?
about. On top of that, you gotta think about the crack epidemic. It's a lot of factors, man. It's a lot
I
of
do think
factors.
I think about I have the history in my head. It ain't going nowhere. I got it all. But I'm not going to allow for us to continue to excuse it using these factors. I'm not going to continue to let us do it, because there's nothing stopping you from teaching your child to be pro-black if you want them to be. Because again, how are we getting Christianity to our kids? How does that get to them? Crack didn't stop that. Broken homes ain't stopped that. None of the factors you name stopped our kids from being Christian. So how then are we, when it comes to pro-blackness, or now we got all these factors and tethers and everybody, like, no, we got to stop doing it and deal with this shit straight out. We always have too small of a group of us that are pro-black, and that shit all these excuses need to go away. We're ashamed of being pro-black.
You're
That's the
right,
truth.
but we are a special group of people, Rob. You gotta understand that. It's been
I
proven. The
I understand.
FBI, the
Okay,
FBI actually goes in and basically tries to stop us from doing certain things.
they do,
No other group on the planet have to deal with stuff like that. You got to factor in why they may not want us to be pro-black, or why they program
Bro,
children to not want to think like that. You feel
brother.
me?
They cannot program your children. The government don't have that power. Giving them that power, I think, puts us in a weakened position. Now, the FBI, we control what we teach our kids. How do they learn the stuff that where they get Christianity from? It's very simple. The parents. Where do they
Slavery,
get their
slavery,
mores? Okay, slavery,
slavery.
yes, but
That's where it
through the
comes from.
lines, down the line, how can you blame slavery for Christianity when now ain't nobody teaching? That's us. My mama wasn't on no plantation when she taught me to pray to white Jesus. She was at home.
But the mind is still colonized.
It is. That's what I'm saying. You're saying what I'm saying. Our minds are colonized. We don't have the culture is not freeing us from this colonization, and therefore we need to create one that will free our minds. And the only way to free our minds is to free our children's minds so they can free their kids' minds, and thus reversing the fact that we don't have a culture built in pro-blackness.
That was part of the culture, from James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, to Ice Cube music he was putting out. We always had people that was always been a part of our culture. It's just been pushed to the side.
I would argue, even when James Brown was saying, say it loud, he's black and he's proud, the time in the 60s, again, I go back to you and I go into the 60s and I tell you that the Black Panther Party had a membership of 5,000 to 7,000 people in America. I'm telling you that. That's a fact. You can look it up yourself.
You're
So
right.
how
I know you're
during
right.
this time of all this black and proud and pro-black, we still had a very small number. Still. NWA, we still have a small number to this very day. So I can't blame. We can go slavery, we can go FBI, you can go tethers, all over, but nobody controls how I program and teach my children. Nobody controls that but me. I'm in control of that. Nobody else. That's us. And we haven't made it a priority. Pro-blackness is not a priority to us. We have to be honest about that. And until we're honest about it, I don't think we're going to change that within our culture. We got to be honest about it.
Now, pro-blackness is a part of our culture, but I will say it's not a priority the most. You're right about that.
It's
You're
a
right.
small,
Is
small
not
percentage of our culture.
is not a priority the most because a lot of people want acceptance for other groups. That's why a lot of times they scared to actually put their fist up and actually say that they're black because they want acceptance from whites or Latinos or stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that doesn't mean that's still not a part of our culture just because
I didn't
that
say it
is
wasn't a
deaf,
part.
dumb, and blind.
That wasn't my argument that it wasn't a part of our culture. I said our culture isn't built on that foundation. Yes, I'm a part of our culture. My fist is up. So, of course, it's a part of our culture, but it's not the foundation of our culture. It's just not. And it needs to be. And we need to change it. We need to address it realistically. Like we have to, not FBI, not broken homes, not, going all the way back to slavery. No, we got to take responsibility for that on our own, or it's not going to change. It's just not. We have to approach it in a very serious way. Approach it. Take our emotions out. Because I mean, shit. I'm not emotional about this. This is just a matter of fact. And what I seen and what I had programmed into me wasn't pro-blackness at all. I recognized I was black, but pro-blackness wasn't programmed into me from neither of my parents. Neither one. My grandma, nobody in my family. Period. You recognize you as black when the cops get behind your ass, tighten up, be scared. They teach you that type of shit, but you don't get no fucking lessons in pro-blackness. And I don't think nothing's going to change until we start building our culture on pro-blackness. That's my argument. Not that we don't have a piece of that culture, but we don't build on that.
Just ain't educated enough like they're supposed to be, man. They're not educated enough.
They're not, but they're not because their parents weren't.
They don't want to seek the knowledge anyway. So that's the big
Right.
problem as well.
That's a big problem, but that's a cultural problem, though. That's a part of this culture that is a problem, is that you don't even seek out. Those things aren't even something that you seek out to get that information, get that knowledge. But if you're getting it from when you were a child, very young, I'm teaching my kids right now. I'm teaching them. So no government stopping me from teaching them to walk through these motherfuckers like my T. You see this on my T-shirt? I'm trying to raise that and they see it in me. So the excuses, I don't believe that. But I do appreciate you for coming up here, brother. I'm about to get off here. But I appreciate you coming up here and having this conversation with me, brother. I appreciate the respectful dialogue.
Good talk, man. Good talk.
Black power.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Black power.
Listen, y'all tell me. Hold on. Y'all tell me. Can y'all hear me clearly now? Y'all tell me whether y'all can hear me clearly now before I finish this up here. Let me know if y'all can hear me real quick. Okay. So do y'all understand what I'm saying about culture? I don't want anybody coming at this, or even anybody that wants to debate me about this. It's not a matter of me trying to disrespect black people or nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's a matter of recognizing this pattern, that there are always small pockets of pro-blackness within our populations. That's across, I've studied the history. It's always a little group, always a small group, always. But most of us are Christian Democrats. The only way you can become, or people can become or be Christian Democrats generation after generation after generation, is to program that into your children. Pro-blackness is not something that we program into our children. And until we do, until we build a culture on that, we'll continue to seek acceptance. The same way I'm talking about the subletting of Black History Month. We'll continue to do that. And this is not something that's an immigrant problem. I don't feel like this is an immigrant problem because we are the largest group of black people in this country. I think when we decide to build our foundation, or our cultural foundation, on pro-blackness, I think the whole world will shift. That will move the entire fucking world. And if everybody is always copying us, that's the claim that we make as FBA, and the culture that people are brag about. Everybody copy that culture. If we put pro-blackness in there, everybody will copy that too. Why don't we want nobody to copy that? Fuck the hairstyles and the clothes and the swag and all this other extra shit. What about having the entire world copy our pro-blackness and stand on it? And bitch, I will cuss your whole ass out if you try to disrespect my history, my people's history, and me standing on that history and me standing on that as a black man. I don't care what household you come up in, 2-parent, 1-parent. It doesn't matter to me. Grandma raised you. I don't care. Because there are through lines within all those things. There are through lines, and pro-blackness isn't one of them. Christian gonna make it regardless. That's from rich to poor. Christian, no matter the socioeconomic class, no matter the household, no matter what, Christian gonna make it in there. How is that happening? Ain't no white man making you teach your kids to be Christian. None of them. Black people feel like there's a benefit into teaching Christianity to their children. They decided it was a benefit to pass that down to their children. What we haven't decided there's a benefit to pass down to our children is pro-blackness. Even though the whole world is anti-black, we have not decided that it is beneficial to us as a people to build black culture on pro-blackness. Once you build pro-black or build black culture on pro-blackness, can't nobody come take your shit and commodify that. You can't be white and commodify pro-blackness. You can come be a white rapper. Yeah, you can be a Paula Deen bitch in the kitchen, a cave bitch in there making food like we make. Any other part of our culture can be commodified. But if we built it on pro-blackness, couldn't nobody commodify that. They couldn't do anything about that. They couldn't take it. They couldn't be that just because they wanted to. They decided on Wednesday they want to start cooking fried chicken with seasoning. Decided they're going to start talking in our dialect and our tone. They couldn't just come take and be pro-black. They couldn't do that. They couldn't take it, copy, or mimic it. Everything else that we built our culture on can be mimicked, copied. You know, we call people culture vultures and all this old shit. We'll do all that. But if we build it on pro-blackness, that'll be one thing that can't nobody in the motherfucking world copy. Other than, of course, other black people, you know. Other than other black people. I'm just saying. That's my stance. I will debate that with anyone, respectfully debate that with anyone. I believe we need to build our culture on pro-blackness. That's what I'm trying to at least put forward out here as far as B123 is concerned. Black first, second, and third is concerned. Not Christian, not Democrat, not gay. Black first, second, and third. That's what I'm trying to get that mentality into our people. And whether you FBA or not, that's the mentality that I want to spread amongst our people. That's just where I'm at with it. All right. I'm about to get the fuck off here. I appreciate y'all for spending this time with me, having this, listen to me run my mouth for damn near 3 hours I've been on here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Leave comments. I'm hoping, maybe YouTube will push me up in the algorithm. I doubt it, because this type of talk, nobody else is talking about building black culture on pro-blackness. Nobody else is talking about how, nobody else is doing this shit. They're just not. Okay? They're just not. So y'all click the like button. I come in here when I can. So make sure you hit the notification bell. I'm very bad at announcing me going live. And I apologize for that, but it's so random. I never know when I'm gonna have time. I never even know when I'm gonna be home. Y'all know I be out here driving these trucks. Hell, I'm headed to Illinois tomorrow. So I'm always all over the place. So y'all make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to make sure you get notifications when I do go live, if YouTube is handing those out. I appreciate y'all. All the links, if you want to order this t-shirt, because I think it's cold, links in the description box for my t-shirt and hoodie website. To follow me on social media, where I'm active on most every day. I'm on Facebook, posting on there. If you want to follow me there, come fuck with me on there as well. I appreciate y'all. Mad love to y'all. Shout out to you, Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. Black first, second, and third. I'm out.